Ever tried reading while jogging, cooking, or even juggling flaming torches? Yeah, it doesn't end well. But with audiobooks.com, you can conquer books without the circus act. Dive into over 450,000 titles, including more than 10,000 free ones. Get hooked on a bestseller, find your next obsession, or finally read that classic you've been avoiding since high school. And here's the inside scoop. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial and snag your first 3 audiobooks on the house. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Hey there, Delia. What's it like at Condé Nast? We're just a few blocks away, but girl, it sure does sound like ass. Yes, it do. So much talent in that rubber room. I swear it's true. Throw gang, we are joined by the profile princess, the queen of clicks. She must be sperm, how she's dying in the rubber room. Last name Kai, but no Sanat. She stays snatched. This she-wolf setting a bonfire to these vanities. Must be jet fuel, how she's melting down one world trade. Oh, you don't read her correspondence? How about you correspond Deez nuts? Oh, you don't read her Substack Deez Links? How about you link Deez nuts? Must be a media mistress, how she's stacking these subs. The admiral of anonymity, the byline boss bitch, the sovereign of the screed. She can take you higher to a place where haters hate. Senior Vanities correspondent at Vanity Fair and author of the Deez Links Substack, Delia Cai. Delia, how the hell are you?
Hi, wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
I feel like I have to listen to it a few times to get all of it in. Yeah.
And I had to say it a few times to get through it.
Happy AAPI Heritage Month to both of you, by the way. Just want to get that in there up top, dude.
Thanks, honky.
Thank you, ally.
What do you think of our office? You're the first guest.
Honestly, this is like the size of my apartment, so it feels like home.
We're paying an apartment rent.
Is it giving boy room? Shout out Rachel.
I guess so. I mean, it's very minimalist. So
Yeah, by design.
Well,
because we're cheap.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
That's okay. Yeah.
Delia, thank you for coming all the way to the brand new studio.
Woo. So
you broke out of the rubber room just to spend a few hours with us.
I know. I broke through the containment zone. Now I'm here.
Is that what it's called?
I've been calling it like the rubber room, the containment zone. It's, I think officially it was the central content unit, which sounded very like Soviet.
Yeah, for sure.
Now it's like the central editorial team, which is like less fun, I think.
Oh God.
These names are all just very depressing, to be honest.
Very depressing. Yeah.
The central unit Nast team, aka cunt. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. Let's get started.
Delia, the first thing we want to do is a fit check.
Okay.
Why don't you tell us everything that you wore to the studio today?
I'm so curious like how other people plan this, because I thought about this for like a week, and then last minute. Yeah. And then last minute changed because I was like, you're not that person. Why don't you wear something you actually wear?
Wait, you were going to come in like a full costume?
I think so. I was just like, I wanted to wear stuff that like each one had like a little story, you know, but they didn't quite all go together. It didn't really make sense for like 74 degrees in New York. So I just wore like what I've been wearing since I got back from Japan.
Ooh, big fucking flex alert.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that just went this year, but.
Well, you're talking to another one of these guys that won't shut the fuck up about
That
it.
just went this year? I don't think so. Yeah, we all like to leverage the weekend. Okay, so where do you want to start? You want to start top down and bottom up?
Yes, we can do top down. So I got this Deez shirt. So the Deez shirt and the skirt, which is CDG's, they're both from Japan. The Deez I got from, sorry?
Vintage?
Yeah. Well, no, not the skirt.
Okay.
The shirt I got vintage shopping. I don't know. Do you know what Kindle is?
It's
the fake book
it's an
thing?
e-reader from Amazon.
Oh, no. So Kindle, it's like Kindal.
Whoa.
It's like a chain of vintage shops in like Tokyo and Kyoto. And I hit up like every single one because it was so good. It was just like very curated, very hip. And the prices were pretty normal.
So it's like Tokyo 7 in Tokyo.
Yeah, it's a lot like that.
Is it men's and women's or just women's?
It's men's and women's. Yeah.
This is good intel. Wait, you didn't know about this?
No, of course.
Damn.
No.
Okay.
Of course not. I don't know anything.
Okay, I was worried you're gonna be like, Kindle's really basic.
Yeah, Kindle's fucking trash.
Kindle's like the Buffalo Exchange of Tokyo.
Oh, that's where you got your Drees.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the vintage Drees from Kindle in Tokyo, taking notes.
Right.
CDG
skirt.
The skirt is from the Dover Street in Ginza. And then shoes are Acne. They're my, someone once called them my Hannibal ones because I once was like, it's giving kind of like skin, like skin leather.
Right.
And I almost like didn't buy them because they were on sale last year.
The Dahmer 2s.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to show your cool tattoo?
They're kind of funny.
No, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm a big Silence of the Lambs guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably like the most normal tattoo you could have gotten to show after is saying that.
And just the coolest.
Why do you get Buffalo Bill tucking your sack? Would you fuck Lawrence?
I was going to say it, but then I was like, that would be disrespectful. I'd fuck me.
Okay, so what about do we want to talk about the fit that you got planned for tonight? Because you came through with a whole outfit.
Oh, that's right. There's a garment bag hanging on a rack.
Yeah. So there's the dress for tonight. It's from Depop. It's just some random brand
like the
from
Kindle
Depop.
of the UK.
Yeah, exactly. I've gotten so into Depop. It's for selling stuff. It's better than like going to Buffalo Exchange and like standing there and being humiliated. You can kind of make like $10, $15 here and there, which I can never sell anything at Buffalo Exchange.
No, that shit is highway robbery, bro.
Yeah, yeah. The jacket, I was kind of hoping it'd be like cold enough to wear it in.
No, it's blazing hot in here. We need to fix the AC
hot.
situation ASAP.
I know, but the jacket it's also from Japan. It's also from Kindle. It's a Dior men's leather jacket that I found at the first Kindle in Harajuku.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh my God, like this jacket is like $1,300. Like I've never spent that much on anything, but like, can I ever afford a Dior jacket?
Do you know what era it's from? Is it like an Eddie Slimane piece or Chris Van Ash?
Did that cost $1,300 or 1,300 yen?
$1,300.
Vintage?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn, you blew back,
right?
sister.
That rubber room checks are hitting, I guess, still. Damn.
I was like, this is one ticket to come back to Japan. I guess I'm not coming back.
That shit is the fucking leather room now. God damn.
I know. I literally like left and then like the next day I was still thinking about it and I was like, I have to go back.
Honestly, that's how you know that the purchase is worth it. If you can sleep on it and you're still fiending, go back and cop because like you've given it a fair chance.
She's a fucking beaut. Or he. I don't want to misgender your leather.
Yeah, I was so excited to show you guys.
The audience has no idea what we're talking about. Sorry, guys. Maybe you can wear it when we take a picture.
What about your bag?
Okay,
which we had to get in frame.
Yeah, product placement time.
I wanted to bring my friend Chris Liu. He's actually a big fan of the podcast. He's the one who kind of turned me onto you guys.
Oh wow. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
He's an art director, skater, an artist, and he just like he makes these like really cool things.
Must get so much pussy.
He like makes all these like clothing or accessories that sort of play on just sort of like the physicality of the urban environment. I'm trying to work with him on his artist statement, as you can tell.
So this is like
he needs a press release.
Yeah.
This is like when construction workers need to block off the bike lane. This is what they put up there.
So it's a barricade. It's a barricade bag.
It's the Finelli handbag because I got those shits just fucking posted for no reason out there.
We should rebrand that. Actually, that's funny. The Finelli.
The Finelli one.
You're welcome. That's a free one, Chris.
Yeah.
What about your jewelry and hardware? Where do you want to start? You want to go with rings?
Yeah. So rings. It's like I have one from Majuri that's like a friend birthday gift. I have this like leaf one from Verameet. Is Verameet still around?
Verameet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're asking the wrong guys.
I'm sure it'll show up on my Instagram targeted ads.
Yeah. I think it's one of those. They were, I don't know if they're still in the Lower East Side, but I remember one time they were kind of in the news because I think like Hailey Bieber went there or Justin went there for
Is she
Hailey.
pregnant?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I hope so. I hope she's
That's
happy.
why he was crying.
We'll put her. Yeah, exactly.
He's not ready to be a father.
Fuck. I want to be the baby. Okay. What about the other ones?
So the one on this pinky ring I'm trying to make happen, it like says like Deez Links on it. I also got it in Japan. Or you could like
signet.
Nice.
You could go and get like stuff stamped, which is cool. And then like middle ring, it's this like sapphire ring from Capard, but I bought it for myself when I sold my book.
No, not RP.
I know, right? I was like, is that still around?
No, it's the other one. The other bird one. They had a Park Slope in a Williamsburg shop. Whatever.
Okay.
Capard's still gone.
So it was a gift to yourself to commemorate this momentous moment in your prestigious career.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because it was like, who else is going to buy me jewelry? I'll buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, treat yourself. What about the earrings?
Is that just a challenge now for all the young men listening?
We're gonna get into it.
Sorry.
What are the earrings?
Earrings are Sandy Liang.
Ooh. Shout out Sandy.
Sandy.
Please come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. She'd be so great.
We know. We've asked.
There's talks
I think
happening.
she's pregnant. She's gonna have a baby.
Oh, breaking
maybe
news.
she's like
okay,
busy.
breaking news.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Well, no, it's on her Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I was just trying to make you feel
Maybe I
better.
Close
confused
personal friend.
Haley Bieber and Sandy Leanne.
Maybe, yeah. Common mistake.
Yeah.
Delia, what about the bra and panties, if any? And
Um,
we ask everyone.
I know.
Okay.
When I was listening to the Allison Roman one, I liked how she was just like, no. And you're like, no, we ask everyone, I promise.
So we tell all the girls.
That's kind of my relationship with Allison.
It's okay. So it's Skims on bottom
Nice.
Shout
and
skins.
on top it's Urban Outfitters.
Oh, not
it's
so
kind
nice.
of embarrassing. I
Yeah.
know.
Well
Sometimes
done.
I just like go
Is
in
it
there
laundry day? Like what's
buy
going on?
something to feel something.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. That's called capitalism.
You have
That's
like
in action.
$20. Yeah, you're
It's
like,
called
yeah.
John's addiction. And you're sipping on some hot tea because you're getting over some allergies. It is
Yeah.
allergy season.
It is allergy season.
And
Got my
some of
Yogi
the Lower
ginger.
East Side's finest tap water that
Yep.
Does your tap water taste a little bit like tea because you dipped your tea bag into the cold water?
No, it wasn't that.
Okay, good.
It's like fine. Yeah.
All right.
Let me know if you need a refill. I got you.
Yeah.
What about socks? You're wearing socks under these skin boots?
Oh, yeah, they're Uniqlo, but they're like from the Japan Uniqlo, so the cotton
A
is
lot better. a lot
no,
better.
literally like I when I went, my friend was like, "Can you?" Alex Young from New York Mag was like, "Can you bring back some Uniqlo socks for me?" And I was like, "We have
Right.
No.
Uniqlo,"
no, we don't.
and he's like, "No, it's not the
It's
same.
different.
The cotton is different. I've looked into it, and I have to say he was right. Like,
It literally hits
The
different.
socks
Did you have a
little bit
lot of
different.
friends ask you to proxy like various little trinkets and things from Japan?
no, the only one who dared was Alex.
Oh, wow.
Did you go there with like a half empty bag, knowing that you're just gonna fucking
Yeah.
blow millions of yen?
Millions of yen. Yeah. Well, did you see? It's like the lowest
I
it's
know.
ever been. It's lower than like I think it was 0.0066 when I was there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now it's like 6.3.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Get in while the getting is
We
good.
need more white people to go over there ASAP.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the only podcast matters. Delia, for the people at home, let's just set some context real quick. What is your current job situation at Condé Nast?
So I've been at Vanity Fair for like almost 3 years, but since November, so it's so funny because I'm always like, how deep into labor law do you want to get?
Deep.
Superficial.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm about to do one of those like buckle up threads. Like,
Buckle up.
Oh, no.
It all starts with Eugene Debs in the 1920s.
in November, I and about like 90, I think there's 100 of us total at Condé Nast. We were all notified through our union that like Condé Nast is trying to do layoffs. You were on the list of people who they want to lay off, but because we were literally in the middle of bargaining a contract out, because like we only unionized like last summer.
Right.
Congrats.
There's like a thank
Long
you.
time coming.
I know, yeah. It's
Labor
really
strong.
so historic.
Stand
like
with the workers.
It's May Day.
it is Mayday,
True.
yeah.
yeah.
It's also my dog's birthday, whatever. Not a big deal.
Oh, what's your dog's name?
Georgie. George A Day.
Georgie. Oh, that's cute.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
to make it about me.
Right.
To make workers rights about me.
Yeah.
I'd
Uh-huh.
love to do that.
Well, that's why you're here.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay, so you were informed that there were 100 of you that
Yeah.
wanted to get, or Condé Nast wants to fire your asses, but they can't currently.
They can't. So there's a law. I didn't know America was this advanced. I was like, oh, there's a law that's like if you're actively bargaining with a union, you can't make any changes like layoffs. And so we're all just like waiting for the bargaining to finish. And we kind of don't know how much longer it'll take. Like this has been going on. The bargaining has been going on for since before November. I've just been kind of waiting around to get laid off, or maybe not.
Right. This is the purgatory
Yeah.
that a lot of people have described it as, correct?
Yeah. So I'm in like the rubber room where it's like, I think in March, they took like the writers and the odd dev people and the video people, and they've put them on these like central teams.
the
and
cunts, right?
Yeah, the
Central
cunts.
content unit,
Jesus.
Nast teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But we're saying it in an Australian way, so it's cool.
Yeah. We're singing in a feminist way.
Yeah, exactly. You sick cunt.
Yeah. And so we have these like
Australian
assignments that like don't really have to do with the work that we like thought we were gonna do at Condé Nast. It's all very weird.
Is it busy work?
I think so.
What is some of
Yeah.
your busy work that you're currently slogging through?
Like I had to write like a cultural significance profile about Ina Garten, and I was like,
that sounds fire.
I know. I was like, that's actually not the worst thing. But then another one was like, can you write up like and these assignments are sort of like, you kind of can tell like you're not sure what they're for, because they're like, just write up a thing about how Condé Nast has covered women directors between 1984 and now. And it's like, what, like all like 5 of them? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is this for?
Okay, let's not get political, right?
Yeah.
Let's how about how Condé Nast has covered labor law in the last, or
I know. I mean, that would be funny.
Years.
Yeah.
So like, what went through your head when you were so first of all, does that kind of mean that as soon as the union bargaining, as soon as you guys reach an agreement, the union and the powers that be, will you get laid off? And so are you kind of hoping that the bargaining happens forever?
I mean, it's very weird because on one hand, I'm kind of like, oh, this is like it's actually very vintage Condé Nast to kind of be kept on payroll while like it's not clear how to contribute.
Purgatory at large.
Yeah, it's very like,
yeah.
I wanted to say something, but I probably can't.
Then don't say it.
Okay.
Unless you want to, unless you really want to.
I'm sure Tina Brown would love it if someone told her.
Oh, you think you chose that color blue? Vintage Vogue.
Yeah, she'd be like, oh, great. This is how it should be. Should just be on payroll in an ambiguous way.
Yeah, like how many editors, how many fat cats have just been sucking the Condé teeth that like weren't doing shit for a very long time and probably still are. But
I know a lot of people, they're technically not there. They're still on a pension. Like there's all these little like.
Yeah. I mean, Condé Nast used to mortgage people's homes.
Yeah. Like 0 interest, I think.
That was straight up.
Crazy.
We talked to someone about this where it's like, enjoy Silver Lake.
So what was the first thing that went through your head when you got the notice that you were getting shipped off to the rubber room? And again, this rubber room is kind of like where they put people that are like in between jobs that are like stuck with whatever work. But yeah, what went through your head when you got this notice?
I mean, I was definitely sad because I would like working at Vanity Fair. But I think it was also sort of probably like in terms of like long-term career stuff. I was like, oh, okay, here's kind of like change happening to me instead of me sitting and trying to think about like, how do I cover letter my way out to like a new step or a new journey or whatever. So I was kind of like I'm definitely sad, but I think I was like, oh, maybe it would be interesting to think about what's next. But also, like, if I can stay, that would be cool too, So
there's a chance.
No worries.
There's a chance that people could stay, even if they're currently in this like purgatory.
Yeah, I think the bargaining committee is trying to find a solution. Like, because I think some people are ready to go.
Right.
Some people would really love to stay and keep their jobs and keep doing their work, and so it's just been like, I don't know, like 6-dimension chess, trying to figure out like.
Yeah. The not knowing
is
like obviously the hardest part for all.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I wish because I every now and then I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the museum today, and then I'm like, wait, should I be acting unemployed if I'm not technically, And then it's like I kind of it is like kind of a mental thing where you're sort of like, how am I supposed to be acting right now?
If your union representative shows up wearing this, dog, you're not getting you're getting unemployed. What's the vibe like in the rubber room right now? Is it kind of like the scene in Breakfast Club where they're all sitting in silence and they're miserable? Or is it like the scene in Breakfast Club where they're all dancing around and making out?
I think it's the former because it's like we're not, we're all kind of just talking about this on Slack and Zoom. We all haven't really seen each other.
Yeah.
I know.
That's in the record.
I know, but it's like on a separate.
Oh.
Yeah.
There isn't a room encased in rubber.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you think people are literally thinking it's a literal like mental institution?
Well, I think the term started with like school teachers where it's like they just got put in like an unused classroom. Just like fucking sharpen pencils.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fun. That would be like, oh, we're all here. Might as well like.
Right. Kick it.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club
But they've isolated you guys or kept you like apart?
No, not even because it's like, I don't think that many people are going into the office even. So it's not like, I don't think they've even told us like, you cannot sit with Vanity Fair anymore. Because I haven't been in the office since then. So it sort of feels, I think, there's less of a camaraderie than I almost kind of like hope for because we're not seeing each other every day. It's more just like checking in with like your group chats or your like email threads or like the Slack and just being like, what's going on? Do you know what's going on? Like, are you in this Zoom? So
speaking of 60 chess, you think that's intentional then to like keep you guys as apart as they can?
Maybe. But I mean, I don't know. I think Condé's like return to office culture never really quite came back. Like I miss sitting in the cafeteria with friends, but that's like once a week.
There's the big sit-in today, right? For May Day.
Yeah. So today everyone was in the office.
Besides you.
Yeah.
You're here.
Oh, so you're not
because you're representing.
You're not protesting with your fellow workers.
What a team player. Thanks,
I know.
Delia.
You guys don't like link up like the waylaid rubber roomers. You don't link up for like a happy hour or.
I've been getting lunches with a bunch of people, and we're just because we're like, well, you know, I'm free.
Yeah, right.
I got shit.
Let me check my schedule.
Yeah.
Finish my listicle of 5 female directors since 1985.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about happier days.
Yes.
What was your old job at Vanity Fair?
So I was a senior Vanities correspondent.
What is a Vanities correspondent?
Sounds fancy.
I know it was I think they've restructured it a little bit, but when I was there, the Vanity Fair website was split into 3 verticals. It was Hollywood, Hive, which is like politics, and then Vanities, which is sort of just like culture, celebrity at large. So that's what that means. It was just like extra special on the Vanities team.
And what was your focus, or was it kind of a little bit of everything, like a hodgepodge?
I was mostly focusing on like internet culture. But like there was so much freedom to kind of just like pitch and make a case for like people you thought were interesting. So I did a lot of like Asian stuff. That was fun.
Representation.
Yeah. And I think a lot of book stuff. It was I think just
Boy room. You just throw your trash wherever you want.
Yeah, the trash can is wherever you want it to be.
You're in it right now.
Yeah, I know.
Was it a dream gig? Like when you think back, with hindsight being 2020, yeah.
I think there are probably like 100 jobs left. That was like that job. It was like very cushy, very like so much freedom. It was kind of just like if you can come up with the idea, then you can go to the story.
Incredible. Yeah.
And so it was like I think I was brought on to really kind of like cover internet culture, but it was sort of like, well, what do you think is interesting?
Do you have
which
one?
Is amazing.
Do you have one story that stands out to you as like the favorite accomplishment or thing you worked on?
I mean, there's so many, but I think about the interview I did with Ted Chiang, the sci-fi writer, all the time. Because I think that was like the coolest thing where it's just like working at Vanity Fair, everyone picks up the phone, everyone wants to talk to you. Right. And so, you know, you could just be like, hey, like I want to talk to the person who probably is the smartest person about AI right now or whatever. And I think it's this like sci-fi author. And I can just like talk to him for an hour and just be like, wait, so are you worried? And he'll just be like, no, like capitalism is the problem, you know, like all that.
Will we be having sex with robots in 2025?
What did Ted say? Because I'm sure you asked.
He's like so unimpressed by the robots, and so that made me feel better. Really? So I think no. I mean, like robots are so dumb. You can't even count on like a Roomba to do its job. Like you really want to like stick like an organ in there?
You know, I don't know what that robussy do.
Yeah,
but what was your favorite part about the job though? Just like generally speaking, was it having the power to be like kind of just pick up or to get anyone on the phone would pick up your call?
Yeah. It felt like the ultimate superpower. Like, oh, I can talk to anyone.
Sick.
Yeah. So that was the best part.
What was the one thing that you kind of felt like you had to do that looking back now you do not miss at all? That was like maybe a time waster or whatever.
I mean, I don't miss trying to like come up with something smart to say about like Twitter and Elon Musk along with like everyone else, you know, when that was all happening. Cause it was just sort of like, I think he's just kind of having a tantrum and we're all just kind of like at the mercy of it. And there's not, it's almost like kind of like Trump coverage in the beginning where it's like, he must be like strategizing this out like 3 steps ahead. And it's like, no, I think this guy is just doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, it's just small dick shit.
Just straight up small dick impulse decisions.
But was there a topic or like, was it Twitter or Elon Musk that like your bosses, even if you didn't think there was much depth there, they were like, you need to write about this because like it's getting the clicks or the page views or whatever?
I think they were interested. They were interested in stuff too, like when
was your boss Matt Lynch?
Yeah. Matt is my editor.
Matt Lynch, baby.
Yeah. Go Giants.
I think a lot of stuff we worked on in the beginning was about sort of like whenever something on TikTok would spill over into the mainstream, whether it was like who is that girl who was missing? Gabby Petito. Do you remember this?
No
this
comment.
is like a million cycles ago.
I don't.
We don't like to comment on missing women. No.
Fair.
I don't know what is it like pinks? Like what else? Like what's another example?
like West Elm Caleb, like that kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Real true crime.
Yeah.
So not like every other publication's like, this is a trend
Yeah.
for Gen Z because I saw TikTok on it.
Yeah.
But it's like what you're gonna sound like.
Yeah. Good shit.
I think at first we were sort of like, oh, what do, something like West Elm Caleb, what does it mean? But then you
What
would
does it
sort
mean?
of see it. I just think it means like
All men are trash.
everyone is on camera all the time and you were like one tweet away from like a public spanking.
Yep.
And it's
Tar
terrifying.
and feathered in the public square.
Yeah.
AKA canceled.
Yeah.
The tabby thief.
That was funny. Yeah. So it's like stuff like that where we're like, is this a thing about the culture, or kind of maybe more increasingly we realize like, I mean, this is just the culture in a way. Like it's not kind of like this one thing represents so many things. It's more just like, this is every day.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Mhm. I mean, the Tabby thing too. I mean, that was like, she publicly shamed this guy into returning something.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
That
yeah.
dude emailed us about coming on the pod and telling his side of the story.
Well, she also wanted to come on and tell her.
Ooh.
But we'd rather have her than the fucking
Yeah.
thief.
We said sorry.
Well, I do want to know his reasoning though.
Probably.
Because he wanted some tabbies to sell.
But like,
Money.
was he
honey.
like, oh, my girlfriend's a size? What? Like, I don't.
Oh, right.
Oh, I forgot he had a
just
girlfriend.
knew? Yeah.
He was on
a-
our Fitties Awards or nominee for Bozo of the Year. I don't think he got many votes though.
No, it was
Yeah.
he was a flash in the pan, which like now that you're reminding me about West Elm Caleb, excuse me, it was the same thing where it's like you have a really bad week, but then like everyone moves on.
Yeah. There's always going to be a new.
There's gonna be another Bozo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he legally changed his name. That's what I would do.
From West Elm Caleb to what? Like
IKEA Jerry.
Pottery
It's
Barn
Cal
Cherry.
now. No, he goes by Cal.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'll go by WE. Here's a question. In all your writing and profiling of like internet culture and Asian American issues, why didn't you just pivot to video? I feel like that could have saved your job.
Oh, I mean, I think like Condé has a video. I mean, for
How's
me,
that going for them?
I know. There's no money in TikTok really, unless you're like an influencer, right?
Oh, I didn't mean TikTok. I just mean like,
Oh.
I'm just joking. Like,
Oh, okay.
This is
we
not
were-
a serious question.
we worked in media too, where it
Yeah.
was like, guys, Facebook Live is the new shit because like
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
Live, Facebook was just paying people to be on Facebook
Yeah.
Live,
No.
and I'm sure Condé was victim to the same macro forces
Yeah.
of like big tech and media.
Yeah.
Did you feel like where do you think media is headed in the near future?
Big questions only.
I mean, I think like I was thinking about this because it's like, you can kind of make this argument that like cable TV is over, radio is over, websites might be over. But then if you kind of like think about it, like I think you guys were just talking earlier about like, podcasting is not new, podcasting is radio. Like there's always
Right.
going to be audio. There's always going to be, for sure, there's always going to be like video, whether it's on your phone or like on a slightly
Whether it's
bigger.
vertical or horizontal. It's
Yeah.
just- these are just like it's all being rebranded.
Yeah, it's all being rebranded. So it's like I don't think text is going away, but I think we're sort of just seeing it all being repackaged as like, like a newsletter is kind of like just a zine, right? Or a column.
It's a columnist,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like,
Mhm.
I mean, I think when we were talking about this, it's like people used to buy newspapers for columnists,
Op-eds.
and like
Yeah.
nationally syndicated columnists,
Yeah.
Mhm.
not just the name on the banner. Well, Delia, I have great news. All right, it's been discovered via
TikTok.
that Condé Nast CEO Roger Lynch has been attending the protests at Columbia University, and because of Condé Nast policy, he's been unceremoniously canned from his job, and you are taking his place. What is Delia Cai's first executive order as the new CEO of Condé Nast?
Why
Congratulations, by
Why
the
did
way.
I think for a minute this is real? It's like, oh my God, that's so metal of him.
Wait, did we sell it well?
Yeah.
thought that was real?
I was like, maybe he's just breaking on Twitter now. Like I know shit's happening.
Roger Lynch eating lentils,
Yeah.
beaten up by Zionists.
Wait, so what was the question?
What's your first executive order now that you're CEO of Condé Nast?
Oh my God.
Free them all? The rubber roomers?
Yeah, I think like
Free the guys.
It's backwards.
I mean, I think it's sort of. I think what Condé Nast needs to do is double down on subscriptions, because right now it's like if you want a subscription to Vanity Fair, I think it's like $12, and that
I get an
doesn't
email
make sense
every day. It's like
Yeah.
75 cents for the year.
Yeah. And it's sort of like, you know, the reason the New Yorker has kind of like weathered all of this is because they're like, we are literally $300 and there's nothing, it's not $300, but they're like, there's nothing you can do. And you're kind of like, yeah, I respect that. You guys are the best, you know, like all
know
these,
your worth type shit. Kind
yeah,
of,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And they unionized early.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. We're definitely following their footsteps. Nice. They've done so much.
So like the Rosa Parks of Condé Nast unionizers.
So you're going to make the user experience. When I go to GQ or Vogue or whatever, and I just sign in 5 times because they don't remember that I'm
I hate that shit. Yeah, that
what is
drives
going
me
on there?
crazy.
Can you fix that, please?
I know someone needs to because it makes me want to like kill myself every time that happens. I'm like, I work here, you know.
I've created like 25 Vogue accounts to read to just like look at runway photos.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna eventually just go look at Harper's Bazaar, or whatever. Yeah, or WWD. I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to think of who does that well, because I think I also sort of get that annoyance with like the Times and New York Mag as well. And so I'm like, who has anyone figured that out?
I don't know.
Why is this?
I don't know. I feel like Times, because it's like you click on a link, it either opens the app on your phone or you at least stay logged in. Yeah, like any normal fucking website in 2024.
I think New York Mag is a good example of who's doing it right.
Yeah,
in terms of like doubling down on or like making stuff.
I mean,
like
it's
paywalled.
like if you love, whoever does your favorite reality show recap on Vulture, or you want to read Matthew Schneier's reviews for restaurants, it's like, yo, if you got to pay. Got to subscribe.
Yeah, they've like
no other way you're going to get it.
Buckling down on the paywall, I think is the only thing you can do now, because it's like you make really great shit because you own like 20 of the best magazines in the world. And so people are going to want to read it. You have to make stuff people, are going to
20
feel, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are we at right now? What's the current count?
It's like you have to like make people feel FOMO and then have them and want to read it.
Well, one thing that they're not necessarily doing that we're going to talk about Deez Links and your pop-up blog within the blog, but like they're not writing the articles that go viral or like dominate the timeline that day, the way that like The Cut or I guess New York Mag does, and the way that you were doing for a little bit there. But for someone with like a bunch of experience at all levels of media, like did you come in as a senior correspondent, or did you kind of have to work your way up at Vanity Fair?
No, I came in. Vanity Fair is my first writing job. So I've been in media since like I went to journalism school, and then I've been working in media since then. But it was mostly like random jobs, like corporate strategy or like audience development. And then I started the blog, the Deez Links, the newsletter, a year out of school. So it was like that's mostly what I was doing to write. Yeah.
Oh wow, that was like your resume was your Substack.
Yeah.
Was it on Substack back then, or?
No, it was on Tiny. It started on Tiny Letter. Yeah. Although I just had this thought when we were talking about like fixing media. One thought I had was like, there needs to be something where it's like you're giving the photos away for free. Like VF, we had this cover, I think a month or so ago with like Anne Hathaway and all those photos. And like, I just don't think that really works as much for social media, because you see like Pop Crave or whatever, they just scrape the images and then they get all the views. And it's like, we spent all this money, shooting and making her look amazing. And these photos are getting passed around for free. Yeah. And
Anne
so
Hathaway
I'm like,
stuns a new magazine cover. They don't even say Vanity Fair.
I don't know
really
like
has
what
a
the
chokehold on these fucking images. I didn't even think about it. I see everything on Pop Crave.
I know, right? Yeah. And I don't know what the answer is. Like, do you watermark like a photo shoot? But it's so crazy that like that's what is happening. It's like a magazine spending all this money making this beautiful image or whatever. And then,
but you can't like hoard.
Yeah,
imagery,
you can't that.
Right?
I know. So it's like, what do you buy a magazine for?
The stories.
Yeah. So you just have to make the writing really
and
good.
the bold-faced names that are writing, like whether it's like short fiction or like a long profile, whatever. Like I don't know, or just the topics themselves.
Yeah.
Or let's just burn it all fucking down. How about that?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Well, before we burn it down, do you have it? What advice would you give to someone who's a young, doe-eyed, innocent little fuck, little naif? What advice would you give someone who's just starting out at a large legacy media company in the editorial space?
Quit.
I think my advice to anyone like starting out in media is sort of like, make sure you are always like there's an exchange happening between you and your employer. Make sure that exchange is like you're getting as much as you can out of it. It might not be in the form of money, but like grill everyone, like take them out to coffee, get as much experience as you can, like try everything, like just try to like think of all the ways you can like pump this experience for like all that it's worth, because you're probably not getting paid enough, but like there's so much else that like you can get, and you should. And so I think my advice is like, try to think of all the ways you can do that, because if you sit and think about the money, you will be so angry.
Take your destiny in your own hands and milk that shit for all it's worth.
Yeah. Like be always thinking like, I don't want to be like, oh, think about like what people can do for you, but like find out who knows whom and tell people like what you want to do next, and just sort of like try to, like wring as much value.
It's not selfish to be inquisitive and to just like, I mean, in this scenario, these are your coworkers, and if they will give you the time of day, take advantage.
And everyone loves talking about their jobs,
right?
And who they know. Like everyone wants to be like, oh my god,
That's why guests come on. Should young people get into like large media companies, or should they just kind of like go the individual? I'm not going to say like influencer route, but like start a newsletter, build your own following, kind of develop your own voice.
I mean, I've always wanted to work for a company because like I want to be taught. Like even working with Matt for a few years, like I've learned so much just through writing and editing and about the world and how media works. So I've always wanted like mentors and people who can tell me
and health insurance,
what you don't, and health insurance. Yeah. So key. I don't think most people know that shit's like $1,000 a month.
I think most people do know. Most people do know.
I had to find that out the hard way.
It's like Condé privilege speaking like, how much could it be?
Right.
$1,000.
Yes. That turns out. Yeah.
How much does a dentist visit cost these days?
Here's the $64,000 question. Mm-hmm. How good at softball is Matt Lynch?
He hasn't played in a while, but he's committed, because I remember he's gotten mad at the umpire before. Like we had a game, we were playing like WNYC or just like one of those places that would bring an umpire. We were like, where did you find this guy? Yeah. And I think
the only dude to charge a mound in softball, Matt Lynch.
He's so passionate. I think he like got in an argument with the umpire.
Oh shit. What was it over? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Damn.
No, but he's committed.
Was he like kicking dirt on the plate? Did he pick up first base and throw it into right field?
I think he was just like, can you believe it? Like, this is crazy. And I was like, it's
fucking softball.
It's fucking softball, Matt.
It's a work game.
Matt,
I'm here.
Soccer, Greg.
Matt, you have a child. Maybe
like,
2 children.
Matt, I'm just here for the FaceTime. I'm not here for glory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that he's always 100%.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, look, if the unfortunate happens and the Condé union comes to an agreement with Condé Nast and forms a union and people are good, but unfortunately that means that the people that are kind of been waylaid are now laid off. What do you want to do next?
I don't know. I've always wanted to like the big picture goal.
You're choking up? Thinking about it?
No, I'm
so
just
emotional thinking about her hopes and dreams.
Congested. I mean, I grew up in the 2000s, so I want to be a magazine editor. Like I'm just one of those types.
You're one of those fools.
Yeah, exactly.
We were there at one point as well, probably.
Yeah. Well, is that? I mean, there's so few of those.
I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah.
Or is print back because I don't know. I
think you might need to give up the ghost, Delia.
Yeah.
I think it might not be. I think like the job of like being a magazine editor, there's probably like 50 of those left. But I think like that kind of work, it's probably like what a lot of consulting is now. It's probably what a lot of like creative direction is. And so like I think I remember listening to some podcast where I think Stella Bugby said she was like a art director or something, right? Like she was working in that space before. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. Or she was like a designer or something where it was sort of like not quite media.
Right.
But
adjacent.
You could very easily see like, oh, that's kind of the same set of skills. And so I maybe.
Damn. Are editors the OG creative directors?
Yeah. Just put that shit in your bio and manifest it. Like that's what everyone else is doing. Right?
Is that why do you want to be like an editor? Is it because it is kind of like do you want the power? Is that what it is?
I just like, I ran our student magazine in college at Mizzou, and like I was never happier. Like that was the best time of my life, was like coming up with ideas, working with writers, just sitting in a room with like a ton of people and being like, wouldn't it be funny if we like did this? Like I like being on a team and I like kind of riffing. I think the writer life is like so amazing in a lot of ways, but it's mostly sitting in your apartment by yourself thinking like in the inside of your head. It's
Thesaurus.com.
really literally
the word for
new tab, synonym for yeah.
Do you have a magazine that you would love to be the editor of? And are we talking editor in chief?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to be EIC of? Let's manifest this shit.
I mean, I think New York Magazine is the coolest magazine right now, for sure.
Are they hiring?
I don't know.
You want to put in a good word with
David?
Some of our friends. With
Call
David?
me.
Yeah. David, where the fuck you at?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
everything.
your dream job is editor in chief of New York Mag.
Yeah.
That'd be fire.
Yeah.
I'd give it to you.
Maybe if you were
like
in charge,
20 years.
we wouldn't have got done dirty in that fucking TikTok spread we got thrown into against our
Wait,
will.
where were you guys sitting? Wait,
Bad
were you in
Roman.
the whole?
It was the Bad Roman photo.
Yeah. Wait, where are you guys sitting in it?
I'm listed first because I'm in the upper right, the most upper right person. I'm next to VIP list girlies, those TikTok food reviewers. And Lawrence is on the other side of the room. I think you're holding a knife.
I'm holding a knife and looking very fucking devious because I didn't think that they were taking real photos yet.
It's horrible.
I look like a psychopath.
It honestly made
That's
me
amazing.
I walked out of there. I was like, I need therapy. Like, it made me like reevaluate, reevaluate a lot of shit in my life.
Oh my God. I mean, that must have been crazy, but like, what an amazing idea. Cause it's like,
I mean, easy for you to say. You're not fucking in it, dude.
What they should have done is they should have gotten everyone in that room except for the two of us and fucking drone strike that shit. But done us all. And what's funny, like it's kind of
Jesus.
I like that New York Mag like cleared the streets of New York for like 2 hours. We were free.
So that
was cool.
The snarky angle that the article took was, we cleared the streets of New York's biggest TikTokers.
Oh, that was their angle? Okay. That's funny.
And we're like, we don't fucking...
What the hell, guys?
Yeah. I'm surprised you guys were lumped in with that.
Us too. But they didn't even tell us that. Really.
Yeah, what did they tell you? It
Some
was
lie.
Gonna be
some fucking
like, we're doing a big photo shoot. And Lawrence's like, yo, they're doing a
big
cover
feature.
shoot.
I was like, yeah, it's a cover, dude. For the best podcasters with the biggest dicks. Let's go, dude. It's going to be sick.
When did it sink in?
Yeah, Big Dick Nige was
Wait, when did it sink in? Like, did you guys get there first? And you're like, wait,
the second I got there first and I texted him being like, brother, I fucked up.
Oh no.
And like,
but you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah. Well, Delia, what is your personal
so
media
funny.
diet?
Right.
As someone that is like such a learned sponge of culture and
Content.
internet and content. What are you reading or consuming?
I get a lot of stuff from newsletters because I think social media, it's like you never know when you're done. I read like a ton of newsletters, or at least like I try to scroll through them. Do I?
No.
There's like so many. I mean,
I
would say two.
Do you hate read some?
Some,
Ironically?
yeah. Some I'll click in and be like, what's their deal today?
What the fuck is this person up to today?
And sometimes it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Not for me
really?
today.
Those shoes
Yeah.
you're recommending?
Do you guys
Fucking
read
bitch.
After School by Casey Lewis?
I skim it, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
do
think
not.
that's like such a useful newsletter. That's one of the few it's like every day I'm opening.
Oh,
that.
wow.
So
She
it's, like,
publishes
really good
every day, or you
example.
just, oh, wow, holy shit.
It's a link roundup of a lot of Gen Z news from like
That's
a lot of like major bold-faced publications.
Oh,
Yeah.
hence
But for
after
me-
school.
But for me, I'm just like, why am I like, this is the Gen Z like fixation has become like millennials are ruining the economy with avocado toast. It's the same shit, right?
I know. No, but I think she's figured out like that newsletter answers like the question at every like agency marketing team where it's just like, but what does Gen Z, what are the kids into? And she answers that every day.
But I think a lot of that is media requiring like clicks and like, here's the next Gen Z skibbity toilet.
Yeah.
And it is like, yo, like 5 TikToks were made about this.
Yeah.
Or like, this thing has 80 million views, whatever. But it's like, if there's a new Gen Z trend every single day, is that actually like the big macro trend, or is it just like a little blip, right?
Yeah.
And this isn't on Casey at all. This is just kind of like, I think the media knows that millennials are obsessed with Gen Z and how like quirky and kooky they are. And so we're clicking on the links that are like, oh, Gen Z did what? Skibbity what?
Yeah. No,
What
for sure.
your guns sound like? What?
How am I going to sound cool on my podcast as a 37-year-old?
Get up.
But I feel like if you have to like imagine yourself as like a marketing associate working somewhere where it's like you're literally supposed to answer that question every few weeks. And so I feel like Casey is just doing that class of people a huge solid, just being like, here, like, here's what to tell your boss.
Right.
Here's what you put on the pitch deck.
Look,
so I think that's really smart.
Stanley thermoses.
Yeah.
Okay, so After School by Casey, I forget her last name, sorry.
Casey Lewis.
Casey Lewis. Oh,
Yeah.
easy. Why do I forget that?
Right.
Okay, is that any other newsletters you want to big up?
What other newsletters? I'm like, oh, I wish I had my phone because When I'm not
phone,
on my
your phone.
phone, I just like don't remember anything, you know?
Same, sister.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's life.
Do you
in
read what do you get your
2024.
news? TikTok?
No, I kind of like,
Reuters.
I'm getting old where it's like, I just can't stare at a screen for that long. And so I just like to skim stuff. So it's a lot of Twitter
Okay.
for sure. Yeah. It's a lot of Twitter.
News on TikTok.
newsletters.
Fuck no. Twitter though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
We need a legitimate source.
The thing is like, I'm just like, let me scroll past if
Right.
like in the first 2 seconds, it's not, you know,
Okay.
doesn't do it for me.
What else? What else do you like to read or consume rather? Sorry.
I mean, like obviously like New York Mag and the Cai, it's like, if you live in New York, I think that's really the only,
Essential reading.
yeah, that's the essential reading to know
Okay.
like what's really happening. I guess like, you know, the Times, the New Yorker. I like the Drift. I
Okay.
think like the Drift is really smart. It's like I get the issue like it's like every quarter, and I just like let it sit on my nightstand, and then like on the last day or whatever before the new issue comes out, I'll like page through it and then be like, oh, this is actually really good. Yeah,
Man,
it's
that's
really
how you know it's
clever.
good. Let that shit marinate on your
Yeah.
nightstand.
It's Drift Eve. I better catch up.
Until it
It's
expires the day
intimidating.
before.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Well, you started a little. So we talked about how Deez Links has been your Substack. How long has that been going on for?
8 years.
Wow. And
Yeah.
what do you typically focus on or write about outside of the little pop-up project that we're going to get into?
So it's changed. Like when I first started it, I was like spending all my time reading about media news online. And because my first job out of college was like, I worked at Atlantic Media and I was just supposed to kind of like do research on the industry. And so I was just like, I would just read stuff all day and kind of spam my friends. And they would just be like, you need to, like, we have real jobs. You need to kind of like chill.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, well, like, what if I just send you like one thing a day that I think is interesting about media or just like an interesting read in media? And they were kind of like, yeah, that's fine. And so then I was
That's
kind of like,
tolerable.
yeah, one a day. Yeah.
Sure.
So then and that was kind of during sort of like I feel like there have been many waves of newsletter renaissances.
For sure.
And that was kind of during when like Anne Friedman was really doing her thing. Rusty Foster was doing Today in Tabs. And so it was like, oh, here's this kind of like new format. I didn't know that much about going to J school. Like I kind of like, I'll just start a tiny letter.
Do you mean like the link dump?
Mm-hmm.
That,
Yeah.
That
yeah.
as the genre will
The
say?
link and then being like, here's why this is kind of
Right, just a
interesting or
little quick
whatever.
little
your
hitter.
little,
Yeah.
your little take on it.
Yeah. So I did that for a few years. It was just like, here's one link and I'll kind of tell you like why you should read it. Sometimes it's a hate read. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is, you know, this New Yorker long form is actually worth it.
Mm.
So it's kind of just like a recommendation, like links kind of thing. But I like that it was just one a day because that was very easy to write. And then like people are sort of like, this is awesome because I would just read this one little thing and feel like I've accomplished something. So making newsletters shorter is my secret to success.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Make
Well,
that shit short. Yeah.
Let's talk about the little project, kind of like Substack within the Substack, a pop-up blog. I think you called it, right?
Yeah.
Did you invent that?
No, I think I was just like,
Even just that phrase, because I was like,
Yeah.
that's fucking genius. Did you come? Was that from your beautiful brain?
maybe. Because now I'm trying to think if I've seen anyone else do it. I don't know.
That's
if
literally
I've
what it
seen
was.
Yeah.
There's been like themed weeks, obviously.
Yeah,
Like online
yeah.
publications. But okay, can you explain what we're talking about and the origin story and thinking behind it?
Yeah. So we're talking about hate read. I've been calling it hate reads.
It's not hate reads?
No, it's singular. I've been calling it that
Shut it
too.
down.
It doesn't matter.
Fuck.
So Hate Read is a pop-up newsletter that
Mm.
I've been running just like on like the Deez Links like servers, whatever. It's a blog. It's basically a blog. And for the past month, it would publish an anonymous review of just something that like a friend of mine hates. And so it's kind of trying to bring back that like Gawker,
Mhm.
like, you know, kind of web 2.0 feeling of just like, you ever think about this thing that's like so fucking annoying? Or like, you know, it's sort of like kind of the hot takes
Mhm.
category of discourse. And it came out of this idea where it was, I mean, like, you know, for obvious reasons, I've kind of had a lot of free time on my hand
Mhm.
and a lot of energy. And so I was just talking to some friends where we were like, we should start a zine. And we were just throwing around ideas, and it got to a point where I'd kind of run this like anonymous zine idea, this anonymous reviews zine by enough people that they were like, you should do it. Like, I think I talked to Heather Havrilesky, who she was like, yeah, you should actually do this. I think I talked to like Corey Seco about it, and he was like, yeah, just like do it on the newsletter. It doesn't need to be like a zine if you don't know how to like, because I was like, but I don't know how to like print, I don't know how to do printing or, actually make something.
Just a photocopier, I believe, for zines
I
would
can't,
be good enough.
I don't have access to the Vanity Fair printer anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't have the printing budget. I don't know how to do this. And everyone's just like, well, you know how to do newsletters, so just do that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so it was like, I had those conversations around like January, and then I reached out to like a couple dozen just friends, just people who I was like, I can ask you for a free favor. And I didn't know if it was really going to work, because it was like, oh, in my like wildest of dreams, it's like takes over Twitter and people start to speculate who it is.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. And then it kind of did. And so I was sort of like, oh shit, I guess it worked.
At least the timeline we're on.
Yeah.
It was unavoidable, which is the highest compliment I could give to any content.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
How many hate reads were published in the
24.
You extended it because it was crushing so hard.
I was just going to do it for 3 weeks, but then people like on that second week when things started to go viral, like more people were answering my emails. People who had already asked, right?
Wow. Suddenly.
And then new people I also knew were sort of DMing me. Also like strangers, they're like, can I pitch you something? And so it's like, oh shit, okay, now we have more. But then I didn't want to make it last forever.
Did you get any really out of pocket pitches like, yo, I want to write about why I hate Jews? Like, did you get like
No.
Did you have to turn a lot of people down though?
I did have to turn a lot of people down. I did have to turn a lot of people down because I was like, oh, I don't want this to go on forever and ever, because I think I don't want to like outstay our welcome, because I think people are about to get like real tired of it soon.
This is the year of the hater though, FY.
Right.
So you kind of like, floated in perfectly. I will say.
Year of the hater. Yeah, I like that.
Do you have any specific pitches that were so out of pocket you had to turn down?
I mean, two people wanted to do I Hate New York. And I was like, you would have to be a local, like you would have to be a native.
Right.
And you have to do it in a way that like Joan Didion hasn't done it. Like that's a very high bar.
Yeah.
So I was just sort of like, let's like, if we can't crush that, like let's not do it.
That is a tough bullseye.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you've seen the shirts. A lot of people love New York.
Yeah.
So,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
But no one came
famously.
no one wanted to get political and be like, I hate the Palestinian protester. And you're like, sorry, this isn't the New York Times.
I mean, someone wanted to do like, I hate Democrats. And I was kind of like, it's kind of funny.
Ooh,
like the way they wanted to do it was kind of funny, because it was just like, they're so
who
lame.
Yeah. Fucking David Axelrod ass. What hate read article received the most hate?
It was the menswear one.
Oh,
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think menswear dudes specifically had such a visceral, violent reaction to the I Hate Menswear article?
Oh, you just can't.
I think I know why, but I want to hear your thoughts.
I just think like you can't make fun of anything that like men like.
So true.
Because like women, it's like that's all we grow up with, and so we're like, yeah, I know princes are stupid, but I don't care. Men have they like don't have that. I think like tolerance.
So this article dismantled the patriarchy.
Like you can't say trucks aren't cool. Like,
Boobs rock.
Yeah.
Did the author, and we don't have to out him, although
we know who it is.
We'll unmask him tonight at the event.
Ask him
You're gonna
what?
ask him what?
We're gonna unmask him.
Unmask him?
Yeah.
Wait, is it gonna come out like Masked Singer style with the fucking
Wait.
big mask on?
Actually, so his identity will be revealed publicly tonight.
Yeah. So he can't be there tonight because he's going to Japan.
To cop Johns.
But I have a statement from him that he's prepared.
And his name will be attached to it or no? Okay. So can we just say who it is then, since this is coming out after that?
No, because
Fair?
Okay, that's fair. We know who it is anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, because the calculation I made was like, it's cool to reveal it in person, but like to sort of like kind of put it out on the internet where someone can just like copy and paste something, no context. It can get weird or scary.
For sure.
I mean, that's going to happen either way, by the way.
Right.
So
No, for sure. But I was like,
will you reveal where he works?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can we reveal that or no? Up to you. It's
this
totally
is
your,
not
totally
coming
out.
We can say he works at Condé Nast.
Well,
Okay.
no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can't
But I
say
think that's
what
a specific.
property.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can
get. Yeah.
Everyone will know by the time.
Yeah.
All the hate read authors, it feels like a lot of it is kind of like, yo, this is a big part of my life or that I'm surrounded by, that I'm like projecting my, personal, whatever, insecurities, self-hatred of the shit that I have to deal with. And I'm just fucking barfing it up on the page. Or was it truly, or was it more like analytical like that?
No, I don't think it was like really that thought through or strategic. I think we were just like, what's
You don't say.
What sucks?
like people would kind of pitch me on things and it'd be like, well, what's the thing that's going to get the biggest reaction? Not just in terms of like,
So
you're
like, they're
wrong.
rage farming, literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's also stuff that was like, well, what are sort of like these untouchable subjects that like, yeah, we're all a little bit annoyed by. Like, there was a fashion writer who was almost going to do Kate. And I was like,
Oh,
that's
shit.
funny. Like I would read that because
Yeah.
I want to know actually like, you know, like nothing is untouchable. Everything you should be able to critique
I hate
everything.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Can I write that? Oh,
Yeah,
it's over.
that would be funny. Yeah.
Fuck. Next
What
time.
was your personal favorite hate read that got published?
Ooh.
I know there are probably all like children to you to some degree as the
yeah.
editor, but one, which is the supreme hate read.
I mean, Anna Condé, she wrote this really, and she's like, yeah, I was like, she's very like public about it. She wrote this one that's like, I hate climbers. And it's sort of this, it's like more of an experimental kind of like prose to where she's talking about just like the type of guy who, you know, works like in tech and moves to Greenpoint and thinks he's very cool. And to like find meaning in his life, he like takes up indoor rock climbing. And it's sort of like a takedown of like, you know, the indoor rock climbing bros, but also just this idea of like, my life is so empty. Let me like go to a big boy playpen and fill it instead of like, I don't know, like doing anything else with the community. Like,
You love podcasts, the stories, the laughs, the unexpected turns. But when this episode ends, the silence starts. Not anymore. Audiobooks.com turns that silence into your next great adventure. With over 450,000 titles, from bestsellers to hidden gems, your love for listening just found its new best friend. And because you already know the joy of audio, we're giving you 3 free audiobooks to start your journey. Imagine your favorite podcast, now with unlimited episodes. That's audiobooks.com. Keep the story going. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. Because for podcast lovers like you, the end of an episode is just the beginning. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
To be fair, as a rock climber who lives in Greenpoint,
Who worked at Snapchat?
worked at Snapchat,
you go to Vital.
those guys fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like
To your credit,
I don't
yeah.
have
Yeah.
any. Well, I have some friends now, but like for the longest time, like never befriended these climbing bros because they were tattooed Labrador retrievers. That's what they were. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, you want some intel on that problem? And it's like, no, I want to
Yeah.
fucking listen to my rap music and do this shit and go away, get away from me.
Yeah.
So kudos to that writer.
Yeah.
I want to go back to, obviously I just had a visceral reaction. I want to go back to the reaction to the I Hate Menswear article.
Mhm.
Do you think that forget just guys, do you think that guys who are into fashion have a specific like insecurity that they're like into this like thing that like maybe traditionally masculine men aren't into? And
I'm not gay.
to be called out like that?
I'm fucking gay, dude.
Yeah. I like boobs.
Probably because I feel like
Trucks, too.
I have maybe like I don't know that much about menswear, but I feel like when you're in
Jealous.
menswear, you like there's probably this more like this sense of I don't know, like that like taste in menswear is more maybe objective than it can be in like music or movies where it's like, oh, I just kind of like this thing. But
Interesting.
I have this theory that's like if you're in menswear and you're really into it, then you feel like it's very clear what is cool, what is not, what what brands are like on top.
This is how we
I don't
pay
know if
our
that's
rent,
real.
literally.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Marissa
the
Meltzer came on
authority
and she's
is-
like, guys treat clothes like sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it really is like you're wearing the jersey,
Mhm.
you're part of a team,
Yeah.
and you fucking hate the other team, and you're rooting for your team, and like
Yeah.
you're
Right.
into the lore and the players and and it's like it's whack.
Yeah. But
Not-
it's like very acquisition based, right? Too. Of like,
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I
I mean,
guess
you're
all
reading this like a book.
fashion is.
100. This is
Yeah.
exactly what it is. For better or for worse, this is
Yeah.
just, I think, facts.
Yeah.
Only.
I was so surprised that one went viral because I thought like 500 guys in Brooklyn cared about menswear. I had no idea.
Sister, they're all watching right now.
Yeah,
There's
it's,
500.
It's more than 500.
More than 500. No, that's good. That's good.
And they are
Yeah.
Brooklyn based typically,
Yeah.
based on the amount of people that say hi to us on the street. So
And at the
Oh.
climbing gym. Delia, wait, so I know that you wrote the concluding almost like meta.
No, that wasn't me.
You didn't write that?
No, I
Oh,
know.
shit.
I realized that it's misleading because a lot of people thought that because it says like I have read all these hate reads and I think that they're pathetic. No, it was just a dark horse candidate, the last one was like, I have the perfect finale for you.
Wow.
Like, let me do it. And I was like, yeah.
And it's basically like, you don't hate stuff. You hate that you have aged out of the moment and that the things that are happening, you are no longer are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
It was so good. I was like thrilled with it.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't write that. So if you had to write one hate read, what would it be?
Yeah. What do you want to shit on? Let's go, girl.
I was going to do something that was like, I was going to do something kind of funny where it was like, I hate men who travel. Like, where are you going? Stay home. Like, you're allowed.
Is it gay to travel?
Like, you're allowed to go on a business trip. You're allowed to accompany friends, and you're allowed to accompany family. Damn. But like, you don't need to go on your little MBA trek, to Tokyo.
Be a chaperone and just fucking that's it.
And like, the joke was sort of like, historically, bad things have happened when men leave, their land of origin. Like, just stay there. Stay there. Work on yourself.
Protect
at home.
the village.
You don't need to eat, pray, love. Stay home and think about it. That's just something I've been working on in my head for a while. I think that's kind of funny.
Perfect hate read right there.
Is the traveling man, and we're going to talk dating and dating in New York City in a bit, but is the traveling man like an archetype that is just like so fucking played at this point?
I mean, it's like, on one hand, I'm kind of glad. Like, I was arguing about this with a friend. We're like, what's worse, like a pack of guys traveling together or like one lone white man in Kyoto? And we were like,
the lone wolf? I think the lone wolf is scarier, dude.
Scarier. But at least he's like thinking about stuff.
About doing a fucking a domestic terrorism.
Who are you covering your drink quicker around? The pack of dudes or the single
I don't know. Both are threatening.
I would just like to say publicly, justice for Chris Wallace.
Yeah. I want to ask you this though.
Okay.
Is the hate reads within Deez Links project, is that just, before I ask this, can you at least give us a crumb of intel? Are a lot of these authors fellow Rubber Room residents?
There's a good number. Okay. Yeah.
So the fact that the hate reads project on the Deez Links Substack was legit going viral weekly, right? Daily? Weekly.
I mean, from the menswear to the media party one, that was a crazy spike.
Yeah.
That was the one that pissed me off the most.
Hate read dominated the TL from birth to death and maybe upon rebirth. But is this just evidence that Condé Nast, if they just tapped into the talent that is already on their payroll and let them cook and let them write about what they want to write, they could be dominating the conversation every week that they're just not doing? Because it is just like, get the jeans Justin Bieber wore.
Yeah.
Or like that shit.
It's definitely like, look at all these like writers you have who are so smart, so opinionated, and so funny. Like, I kind of want it to be a bit of like almost like rebellious project where it's like, we have no budget. This is literally just a bunch, 24 people like trying to be funny together. And like, we took over the internet like 3 times at least. And like, and it's sort of like, clearly there's so much talent here. You're really fucking this up. Like, you're losing these people, if not, like in employment, but like in spirit, I guess. It's like, when is the last time that something from Condé Nast has gone truly viral?
So with that said, when your blog's anonymous posts bring you attention, fame, and fortune, are you planning on breaking off the writers? Or are you going to be a selfish bitch, much like your current employer?
I mean, my dream is like, they're like someone from like BetterHelp is like, let me give you this much money and you can do a second season, it'll be a sponsor. And I would love to pay the first season of writers and then pay the next season. Like, I want people to sort of, I don't know. I want this to be like a group hunting project,
right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the sole beneficiary of all of this fucking virality and clicks.
No, I know I kind of got some hate for that too. They're like, wow, like this anonymous project is benefiting one person and one person only. Isn't that interesting? But
it is an Asian woman, and it is AAPI Heritage Month. So Foster.
Yeah. Shout out Foster. All these white men trying to drag down a fucking a BIPOC queen.
Crazy how that works.
Did you get any people reaching out from like from within Condé Nast? Like, oh, Delia.
Oh,
come on over to let's go to the Odeon, get some fucking French onion soup and talk.
No, shop. I don't think Roger Lynch has read Hate Read. I don't think it's like crossed his.
You don't think so? How high do you think it kind of went up?
How high does this go?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a big deal.
But like, I don't think anyone above like editor-in-chief, no one above that.
Okay.
And there's so many layers of that.
Sure.
Condé, none of those people like are on Twitter.
Well, neither are the editors in chiefs, are they?
Oh, I think they are. I've
Really?
heard Remnick has a burner.
Woo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know
I
like
need that.
Radhika's on Twitter for sure.
She's young, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if the fucking
She's
olds are
cool.
on
Yeah.
there.
That's fair. Yeah.
But okay, so no one. But what about like people from other media outlets where they're like, "Yo, Delia, like you got some fucking heat going here. Let's talk."
Yeah, I've had some like fun lunches and conversations, but I'm all just sort of like, I don't know what's going with my job either, you know.
I don't know anything. I'm just an Asian
But
woman.
thanks for lunch. Yeah.
Thanks for the French onion soup. All right, I have a very difficult question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather have to work in the Condé Nast rubber room for another full year, or date a New York City media guy for a year?
I mean, only one of those things like gives you freedom to like kind of do whatever you want, you know?
True.
Which one is it? I don't know.
I mean, definitely being in the rubber room, and there's still like, there's so much. Well, now I'm like,
But dating a New York City media guy, I mean, everyone knows dating in New York City is like dragging your fucking genitals across a plate of glass.
Yeah.
But is dating in media an even deeper level of brimstone within like the larger hellscape of dating in New York City?
I think so, because you just can't really it's like you can't leave work in a
Oh,
way
I
then,
see.
you know, unless you are both really like into other stuff together. But then otherwise it's like, oh, did you see that tweet? And you're just like, oh God, I can never.
Right.
Yeah.
See that hate read?
So it's
Yeah,
like this
exactly.
dating
Yeah.
already is like work. So
Yeah.
it's like, why are we doubling down on this?
You see that hate read? I hate dating in media.
it's like-
Yeah, motherfucker, I wrote it.
It's like I date to find someone to talk to when I'm not at work,
Mm-hmm.
right? Otherwise I would just work all the time.
But
It's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also like the narcissism, the
Yeah.
egos.
Well, there was the whole,
Yeah.
there was a list on the shitty
Ooh.
men in
Oh
media.
yeah,
list.
yeah.
Yeah. What was
I
the song?
mean,
Yeah.
Just saying they made a list about it.
It was a listicle. The 50 shittiest men in media.
That shit would do dumb numbies, by the way.
Number 14 will surprise you. What's the worst first date you've been on in recent memory?
Ooh.
in recent memory.
Oh, sorry. Or long term.
Or is that what you said?
Well,
Oh.
or you could just go all
Any
time.
worst first date? Yeah.
I've never had anything super crazy where it was like he showed up and his face was covered in cocaine and then he like, you know, left me with the check.
I'm married, dude. Stop looking at me, bitch.
Like I've never had anything that crazy. It's mostly just like, oh, he said some like weird stuff to me.
Like manifesto
or
type
just
shit,
like
or-
couldn't like I remember once I went on a date with someone and I at one point I mentioned like, oh, you know, my parents are from China. And he's like, oh, damn, I really want to like guess what you were. And it was like, whoa, yeah.
How are you gonna
I
do
didn't
that,
know.
bro?
I was like, it's not a game. Didn't know, you know, he thought it was.
Jeez.
And it wasn't a white guy either. So I was really annoyed.
He gave you like Asian bingo, like a bingo card.
Yeah.
He like had under the table. Yeah. He's like process of elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Guess Who, but with Asian nationalities.
I needed Vietnamese
Yeah.
this month. Fuck.
Yeah. There was a really bad one where I went on one Raya date and then I was like, can't do this. And it was just
How was John Mayer?
and it was this guy who he was like immediately oversharing. And I even kind of like commented, I was like, oh, we're sharing a lot. And he was just like, yeah, my friends say I should stop. And
Your
I was
friends
sort of
are
like,
right.
yeah, that's crazy. You know, like I don't know what to
What
say
was
to
like
you.
the craziest shit that he overshared?
My friend who sexually molested me 3 weeks ago told me that I should stop oversharing.
Yeah, like how
my
deep are we
God.
talking on date one?
I think it's like I heard a lot about like him and his family. And I was like, oh, okay, well,
Wow.
I thought we were still kind of on like, what's your favorite color?
right.
You know?
Right.
What's your favorite color?
Yeah. Purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Royalty.
What's your relationship like with your parents?
Yeah. No, that kind of shit. Yeah. And I use the thing is like
Well,
I
what-
used
what
to
are
like
you?
that, but But what are you? I know. I wanted to
You ever get that?
guess.
You
What?
must get that. What are you? I get that.
I do, but like I think in recent years I've been going out with like mostly Asian men, and so it's a different conversation.
Okay.
You know, it's more kind of like, so you know, what's the
So you
what's
want
the-
bows or you
yeah.
want fucking
Yeah.
pad
versus
thai
like
or-
what is this strange?
Are our
bird?
grandparents going to love or hate each other?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Here's a very difficult question for you. Would you rather only date skaters or only date TikTokers?
Oh my god.
One of them might have a bed frame.
I truly can't decide what's worse. I mean, TikTokers are so annoying. I don't know if I could deal with that. Like,
Some of them are self-aware.
yeah, but I think just this idea, it's almost like, okay, you know, like when you date someone who has like a dog and you're with them and you just know half their attention is not, you know, it's always going to be on the dog, figuring out like tracking the dog. I feel like a TikToker must be like that, where they're thinking like, this is, you know, this is a scene, this is a joke, or, you know, this is a shot. Yeah. But maybe skaters like that too.
I need to break down the price of that guy's outfit.
The skater's like, oh my God, look at that gap. Oh my God, dude, I could grind the fuck out.
Yeah, skaters were like, dude, look at those stairs.
Look at her purse. I could grind the fuck out of that with a tech deck.
So I think I know it's like you probably can't escape that. Half of the brain is somewhere.
It's like
else,
it's almost like you're saying that men typically only think about themselves. They center themselves.
They're not always here, I think. Yeah.
Present.
Okay.
We're talking about being present.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson for all the young men listening.
Yeah.
Be present. Don't ask, what are you?
Yeah. Do you prefer dating like normie civilians, or do you prefer people that have like clout and some, you know, a level of status going for them?
I don't think I've ever done the latter.
Really?
You've never dated a clout monster?
No, I don't think so. Because I think maybe just like as a person, I'm either a bit suspicious of them, or I go into work mode very quickly. If it like some people, like my friends are like, oh, like when you get lunch with like celebs, like, you know, they're kind of cute. Do you ever? And I'm like, no, I can't emphasize like how much of a different, like unsexual person I am, because I'm just in that mode.
Right. You didn't want to fuck Seth Rogen?
I mean, we were just chatting on the phone. It's hard to gauge. You know, it's hard to gauge chemistry.
Greta Lee?
Oh, I think everyone wants to fuck Greta Lee.
Facts.
Yeah, she's so wonderful.
Gorgeous.
But yeah, so I think I don't.
You didn't want to fuck Elon Musk?
I never talked to him.
Oh, I thought you did like a big, or you did like a big like kind of like
Yeah.
investigation on like what is Twitter now.
Yeah, no, we
When Trump got
did, but I
deplatformed,
never
right?
talked to him.
I don't think
But
anyone
he
wants to
read
fuck
it.
Elon Musk besides like his weird fucking
Grimes.
reply guys.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Honey Badger.
I'm not trying to fucking body shame, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I think I like dating normies more because you get to explain stuff to them, and that sounds so like patronizing. But you can be like, okay, like walk with me through like these 7 layers of context, and I'll tell you this drama, and they kind of like love it.
Babe, what's a
know?
byline?
Yeah.
How do you meet normies then in 2024?
I was on the dating apps a lot. Now I just ask people to set me up.
Okay, with like friends.
Yeah.
And
Do
you
you guys
gotta,
have any friends?
yes, but you do not want to meet any of them.
Yeah, they're all clout
That's
chasers.
what most guys I know say. They're like, oh, you don't want to date my friends. I'm like, oh,
Then why
okay,
are you friends
should
with
get
them?
better
Because
friends.
I'm not trying to fuck them.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to party.
Yeah.
Different skill sets.
Yeah,
No, I know.
you know the
Yeah,
bad shit.
it's a different role.
How are the fellas doing in 2024, just generally speaking?
Yikes.
I think
They're not present. We know that.
Right.
I feel like I have encountered a lot of this type of guy who has a very clear idea of like what he wants to be. And like,
That's good.
you know, kind of like it's very aspirational in terms of like, oh, you know, I listen to all the right podcasts, or I read all the right things, or, you know, I moved to New York because I had a very clear dream. But it's now at the point where it's like, we are in our 30s. Are you doing it? You know?
Right.
And I'm not.
Something like literally
I
grow
know.
up, sweetie. Straight up.
Sorry?
Like grow up, sweetie.
Yeah.
Straight
It's
up.
sort of like, okay, well, go do it. You know, like
Be
like
about it.
I'll talk to guys and they'll be like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to write a novel. And I'm like, cool, go do it. You're like, it's awesome. We can talk about it. Like, I'm not saying you have to be like succeeding, you know, you have to be like, oh, I've done the thing and I'm, you know, I've obtained the clout.
Right.
But I think that I keep encountering this type of person who's like, I know what I want, but am I brave enough to kind of try? And now it feels like the stakes are very high because we're in our 30s, but I just want to be like, this is how like midlife crises come about in like 10 years, like not 20. Like we don't have that much more
Nip
time.
it in the bud, but
you know?
It sounds like it sounds like the guy you're talking about is very like, or defines their identity by like how they consume, and not just like stuff, but like what podcasts are you listen to, what newsletters,
creative
like,
cosplay,
what tote bag are you fucking toting?
Yeah,
exactly. Creative cosplay versus like defining yourself by doing,
instead
of receiving.
And it's like, you don't have to be
bottom.
good. You don't have to be good. You can just have like a jam band or whatever, but like,
well,
do that.
Be careful about what you're saying right now.
Don't start a jam band.
Jesus Christ.
What about, do you have any advice for guys who are looking to get wifed up in 2024? Or like settle, you know, find their long-term partner?
I mean,
so I know you love giving advice to
I love giving advice. I'm like, what's something like kind of quippier than just being like, just know what you're doing.
When it comes to like sex.
No, like in life.
Oh.
like you
Yeah,
know.
that too.
Where's that thing? What's it called? The clit?
The clitoris? I don't know.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
'Cause that, I mean, you joke, but it's like that can always be taught. It's fine, you know. But like, do you know like how to set a boundary with a friend who you don't want to see all the time? Like, if you can't manage kind of like basic stuff like that, I think it's hard to get in a relationship without instantly becoming very like codependent and then resentful. And then you're sort of like, I don't know how to live my own life. And now that we're a couple, it's like more of a problem than if I'm just on my own.
Oh, it's like guys looking to marry their mom type deal.
Yeah.
Looking for a mommy, looking for
Yeah.
a caretaker.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Interesting.
So it's like, it's almost like the advice they always give women where it's like, do your own thing. Because when you are doing your own thing, you're on your own track. Like that's very attractive to other people because then they know they don't have to take care of, they don't have to take care of you. They don't have to like try to fix you or tell you what to do.
We
like
need strong, independent men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We really do.
Fellas,
It's like, we're not even like that sincerely. I think it's like this
yeah.
weird. Yeah.
fellas, here's what you're gonna do.
Y'all pussy, man.
You're gonna take 3 weeks off work. You're gonna go to Kyoto by yourself, right?
By yourself, not
Bring
with
your,
a pack.
bring your skateboard.
Yeah,
start a jam band and write the next great American novel.
Get the Rick Rubin book. Post Rick Rubin quotes to your shit every day.
Oh, love that.
Right? Start a TikTok.
Because I think my thing is too, it's like, I think so many guys are afraid of commitment because they think that like a relationship, you know, they only really know this codependent, like it's a blood oath type of thing. And so of course they're like, I don't want that. But it's like, it's just a different kind of video game you play.
Oh,
like
shit.
if you don't have a clear sense of
Oh,
yourself.
now you're speaking my language. We're
Yeah.
talking gaming.
But it's like if you don't have a
Lady.
clear sense of yourself, you think a relationship is like a fucking life sentence, and then you like flip out and like
Right.
you know leave the country and whatever.
Speaking of like just general advice for the fellas, James mentioned the Rick Rubin, quote repost to the story. I don't know if you see that. What's like some cringy shit you see guys doing on IG that needs to stop?
Oh my god.
Where to begin? But I would just love to know like what's like top of mind.
I think
Fit pics.
I think this is probably so sexist to me, but I'm like girls and gays and theys and thems, you know, they should post as many photos of themselves as they want on Instagram. But if you're like a straight dude and your grid is just like photos of you like, you know, having coffee, like in motion, you know, I think fit pics make sense because like that's your thing. But if you're trying to like, if you're a straight dude and you're trying to like kind of lifestyle yourself, that's weird to me because I'm like,
Well, it's fake.
it's fake.
You are your own. If you are your own mood board.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we stand on liking girls every single story post? Super
feel like-
awesome, right?
I mean,
I love the
I think that's a fun way to flirt, but it's like, you know, you need to watch and see if it's reciprocated because like every girl has a list of guys who are doing that for her. And we also know like, I know your wife. Next time I see your wife, like,
whoa,
you know, it's like people look and people keep track. So it's like,
and you're talking
it's not
about
going to
guys
be
that are
there.
like digitally, emotionally cheating, kind of.
yeah, it's like you're married, like, or it's like, you know.
So this is happening
you know?
because this is something that when we had our friend Alyssa on the podcast, she was talking about as well, where she's like, I know your girlfriend, your wife, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, fellas, get it together. Tighten the fuck up.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, we all can
crazy.
see this, right?
What about, and I'm not saying this because this isn't a technique I employ or anything. I'm just randomly pulling this. I
should be
some
rich.
I saw some guy talking about this. What about the deep like?
Wait, what's that?
You scroll down. You scroll down like a few frames. You like 3 photos. No, you don't like a bikini pic. You don't like a beach pic or like a sexy pic.
Yeah.
A thirst trap.
Thirst trap. You like you like a landscape.
Yeah.
You like a meal. You like the book. Their
dog.
Their photo dump from the fucking
cat.
south of France last summer.
That's weird to me. Just go to the bikini pic. That's
Oh,
what
really?
that's there for.
Really direct.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
weird to me if you're kind of coy about it. Cause like, I think I actually like, I had a crush on a 22-year-old very recently.
Age
What's-
And
I don't want to ask you your age, but is
I'm 31.
Okay.
So like my brother is 22. And I didn't know he was 22 at the time, but I knew he was a bit younger. And I remember asking my brother, I was like, how do I express to him? Like, I was like, listen, like I was talking to my brother, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do like a deep like, and I'm just going to like 2 photos. is that enough? Like, is he gonna know? And my brother was like, yeah, that'll
That'll register.
That is like
worry.
a Gen Z like kicking down the door. And so I went and I did it.
Delia, reel it in.
Yo,
It's called boundaries, okay?
Yeah.
So I went and did it, just
some tact.
it felt like a surgical strike,
What do you like?
And then it was just like a photo of him. I think that's
Okay.
it's because to me I was like,
Right.
and I don't care
That's
about
not
this
a drone
meal.
strike. That's a drone like.
Yeah.
Bang.
I like you. I don't like whatever fucking
Right. Whatever
Yeah.
dumb fucking hobbies you have.
whatever,
And I-
whatever bowl you're eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Or skating.
And I just remember I waited an hour and then I checked Instagram and he'd done the same to me, like a single photo, and I was like, it's on.
It is
like,
on.
Yeah.
Like
and then
Donkey Kong.
And then I just DM'd him.
Guys.
I was like, let's get a drink. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. You asked his ass out.
Yeah.
And you made the first move. This is
Yeah. I don't
this is
mind that.
modern fucking romance.
I'm 31. I can't
Were you
really
like,
be
okay, let me go read about some Gen Z newsletters so I can have some talking points.
Well, again, like I thought he was maybe like 27. And then when it comes up, he's like, I don't think we're like anywhere near the same age. And I was like, what do you mean?
That's
And he's
rude.
like, yeah, he was like, I'm 22. And then I was sort of like, oh, so do you remember like, I was like, what was your first phone? Like it kind of got into like market research.
Remember
then.
9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was.
That should be the
-1.
test. It should just be like, do you
Yeah.
remember,
Where were you when Tower 2 fell?
Were you like September 2001?
And he's like,
know?
what goes through your head when I say skibbity toilet, or when I ask you what your guns sound like?
I know.
Yeah.
I
Get
mean,
up.
yeah.
Though I want to go back to this one interesting thing. You're saying, at least from your point of view, like the bikini pic.
Yeah, that's what that's there for.
Okay, interesting.
But I don't know.
But
this
want to
is-
get drowned in
Take
a bunch
notes.
of other bikini pic likes?
I mean, like if she just posted it, maybe. But like, I don't know if I'm just like, an insane girl, but I go and look at every single like.
That's insane.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of like the notifications or whatever this shit is called? Like the people like liking, commenting, everything?
Just like on the main like
Yeah. Like
yeah.
whatever this is.
I try to look at everything. Yeah.
Nuts.
But maybe I'm just very
You have a lot of free time on your hands, so let's
Yeah.
be clear. Like,
True.
she's chilling.
Let's say a fella does go and like he likes your bikini pic. Let's say you go back and you like his slutty, whatever the fuck is man's. What's the slutty guy's photo now these days?
Wife pleaser and big old baggy
Cooking.
pleated
Cooking.
shorts.
like a
never
photo of him
mind.
cooking. Yeah.
Photo of him cooking.
Mhm.
All right, you go and like the cooking pic.
Yeah.
It's fucking on.
Yeah.
One of you asks each other out, age appropriate. He remembers 9/11.
Like vividly.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
And I saved lives.
Yeah. He was a first responder. What would a good first date fit be for any
Ooh.
fella that's looking to impress on date number 1?
Honestly, I think most women don't care that much in terms of like, oh, that's like the latest whatever. I think like just like look like you made an effort and like look comfortable. Because I think it's sort of funny to me when I think a guy shows up and he's clearly like kind of peacocking, but he's a bit uncomfortable. Like that's a new shirt,
Oh,
Like you should wear your favorite shirt,
like a
like
bit
not a
itchy.
new
Dude,
one.
yeah, new shirt mindset is tough, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Take it
pilot
for-
that out with the boys.
Test drive with
Yeah,
the fellas, play
exactly.
some pool, and then
Yeah.
see if it's
Yeah.
ready for the
Yeah.
fair sex.
So just be comfortable.
Be comfortable. I mean, I remember like one of the like hottest like guys that I got out on a date with. It was like in the middle of summer, and he just showed up with like a white like wife beater tank top, like trousers, and then like a button down like slung over his shoulder. And I was like,
Ooh.
oh my god, like that's very hot.
That's
Do you have
confident.
jewels
Yeah.
and tats? Like,
Was he
He
jacked?
wasn't no, he like a little bit, but
Good-
not
good
in a
chest.
crazy
He just
way.
he was owning his body.
He was just I mean, he was like a chef, so it was like that kind of
oh,
vibe.
that's a chef move.
So it's like know your vibe. And
this
then,
Jeremy Allen
yeah.
White? You know what I think of
It
Jeremy
was,
Allen White?
yeah. His name rhymes with Schmear Me. Yeah.
It was the one riot date.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, while we're on the topic of fit advice for the fellas, what are some trends in fashion you'd love to see guys lean into more this year?
Oh man. I
Especially
mean,
as we enter hot boy summer.
Yeah.
I don't like the shorts that cut off at the knees. Like go for the 5-inch inseam.
Oh, you
right?
like that? You want some thighs
Yeah.
for the guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, I think if you have like really skinny legs, maybe like keep the jeans on. I don't know.
What about shorter than 5? What about
Got
like
it.
3?
Yeah.
I mean,
Coochie cutters.
yeah, if you're comfortable, if you can be comfortable in it,
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
But you don't like the big.
You don't like big shorts?
I
We're
don't-
loving big shorts.
'Cause that's what
right
we're doing
now.
this
Come
summer.
Really?
on.
Yeah.
I just think it makes everyone look like a bit shorter than they are.
Just say they're cool. Just say they're cool.
Just
Say big shorts are
sexy.
cool.
Say they're sexy.
Say big shorts are cool.
it just depends because they'll make you
depends,
look
depends.
really short,
Say
you
big
know.
shorts are cool.
Or if you're too tall, then they look
Delia,
just
you're
normal.
fucking me. Saban shorts are cool.
What trends do you hate for the guys?
Oh, I think like everyone should be done with skinny jeans now and
Thank
like
God.
the
Okay, yeah.
slim fit. Like
Yeah.
that's not a new thing,
Right.
but I think everyone should be
Do you
done with
see
that.
them at
Yeah.
all coming back as you're like out in these streets where guys are
Oh
trying
my
to
God, no.
Okay, good.
No.
Woo.
Yeah.
Crisis averted. Good.
I don't think they'll come back for a while.
No.
Because they're still not really gone. Like you go into like Kips Bay. they're
Well,
not
yeah.
gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Context is king here.
Go to the
Come on
skinny
now.
jean district. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Skinny chinos. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Skinny Chino Square.
Let me ask you this, Delia. Let's say you're on the third date, feeling a little frisky, you think it's going places. What's your go-to slutty third date fit?
Mine?
Yeah.
Hmm.
To signal to his fucking lizard brain that it is on.
You know what's funny? Because I actually do plan a progression where it's like first date, I kind of wear as normie clothes as possible because it's like if you don't like this, you're not gonna like it.
Interesting.
Oh, right.
Second date,
Start
it's
them
like
out like,
yeah.
Okay.
Second date, it's like the hot outfit of like,
Oh.
congrats, you've passed. Like
Ooh.
you can now see me like put in some effort.
Level unlocked.
Yeah. I think
This
third
is
date,
gaming we're talking about, right?
Yeah. I think
Cleavage
third
unlocked.
date, I think third date, I try to be like, what would I wear to like a dinner with your parents?
Ooh, sophistication.
I don't know if any of it works. Who's to say?
I like this plan though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
This is like, I feel like this would have.
Yeah, I think you have to
Anyone
unlock
could use
some-
this to some like a they, a them, a he, a she, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a good. I like this.
Yeah.
Could you date a guy that dresses like shit though?
Yeah, because you can fix that.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
find yourself
coachable
Wait,
moments.
but
Yeah.
then is that not a guy that's like looking for a mommy?
Oh, well, no, because I mean, well, if he was like, oh, I know I dress like shit, can you help me? Like that would be different.
Self-awareness about it.
But like, I'll do the scan and sort of be like, I don't love this we can work with, like and that's okay. And if they don't know, it's cute.
What's the largest like delta or shift you personally have taken a guy from 0 to hero? Where did he start out at and where did he end up
He's
at?
all that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just take off the glasses.
Well, I haven't had a boyfriend in a while, so I'm trying
Okay.
to think now.
Or maybe what's like the worst?
I got a guy a job in New York, so he got to move to New York. Like
Oh, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the ultimate.
the ultimate gift, really.
just so you could like
Here's a career.
just so you could like have sex on the regular instead of like just long distance, flying out or whatever.
It's really
Yeah,
a selfish
exactly.
decision, actually, when you break it down.
There's a lot
Honestly,
of
that's-
mega bus.
That's very
writing there.
oh my god. It's very, very environmentally friendly of you.
I think,
you know?
yeah, I know.
And also
I
minimize-
imported him.
Yeah. Minimize your
Point-
contact with bed bugs.
0.001 mile high club.
Yeah.
Fucking on a megabus.
What is the way to Delia Cai's heart?
Ooh.
Because we kind of talked about like
Yeah.
the negatives.
Mhm.
And some superficial stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get deep.
I think like I was thinking about this the other day because I was coming home from a first date and I was like, I'm really looking for someone who like can make me laugh, but who also like laughs at my shit. Because like I was literally walking by this wall in Chinatown and there's this mural of like there's a mural of a pig serving dim sum, but one of like the dim sums that he was serving was like those little pig buns. But it was a slightly different kind of pig. And I was just like, this is very funny to me. And I really wish I
Fucked
had
up.
someone who could point this out and be like, what's going on with the pigs in this mural? So I think
Your humor is so
like,
twisted.
I know.
Delia.
So I think if like someone who notices and can appreciate things
Yeah.
like that, like that's awesome to me. Like I think I'm like a little kid who just wants to be like, look at this thing. Isn't it funny? And like, I want to be like, yeah, it is.
So similar sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have to be like on the same like meme game as you. Like all
No,
your
not
memes have to be-
even.
okay.
Like I'll point it out. You don't even have to notice, but like,
Great.
it's just someone who kind of,
Can you date a dumbass?
I think if they're like willing to learn, it's okay to like not know about stuff, right?
Can you teach me to read, please?
But if they're like, I'm not a big reader, but like I'll read the thing you recommend
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
That's very like attractive versus someone who's like, I've read it,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sure, totally.
Like a snob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a know-it-all, or
Someone who's just
you
like
know.
open to the world, open to like delight. That sounds so like.
So you want
cheesy,
someone
but-
to laugh at your jokes and read your book recommendations. So,
Yeah.
Well, have you ever
Yeah.
been on a date where
Huh.
whether the guy explicitly admitted it or not had like read your novel or
Yeah.
like read a lot of your writing and like kind of was like, oh, the thing about Greta Lee is blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, motherfucker, like
Yeah. So I actually
fire.
was dating this guy for a couple of months and I was really excited because we seemed to like be into the same shit, like the same, like, oh, I love this writer too, whatever. And I remember in the back of my head, I was like, if you like these people, you've definitely read my shit. Like, you know about my newsletter, and you never brought it up.
Oh.
And then when we like ended things, I remember like I was just at home and I was like, I wonder. And I just like typed in his name. It's like pretty distinctive. And I found his
Jeremy
email
Allen
and I was
White.
like, this guy has been subscribed to my newsletter since like
What
October.
a fucking dick. He didn't want to give you your flowers.
Yeah. And I
What
was
was
sort
his
of like,
open rate?
that's just 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so I was
Holy
like,
shit.
how did, like, it's very weird to me that
What a
this never
douche.
came up, because now I feel like, you know, we don't need to talk about my accomplishments on
Right.
date one, whatever.
He was
But
threatened.
it's weird to
clearly.
me. It would never have come up. And it's like, it's been a couple of months, you know?
On the
So I
flip
thought that was
side,
weird.
Have you ever found yourself on a date with like a fucking fanboy?
Yeah, a
And
lot.
is that equally as bad and weird?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause then you're sort of like, oh, they have a really, like, it sounds like such a hilarious thing to complain about, where it's
Sure.
like, oh my God, he like knows all about me already. But it's like
He's
they
obsessed with me.
have such a like a their specific idea of you,
Mm.
and they're kind of not interested in getting to know the real you.
That's
Yeah.
a great
the,
point.
the digidelia
Delia, that's funny.
is different than like the real you,
Yeah.
right?
I remember someone
You
was
can
like,
take that too,
your voice
really,
is not what I thought your voice was going to be different. Like, and I pressed them on this. I was like,
Crazy
what do
thing
you
to
think my
say.
voice is going to sound like? They're like, I just thought it'd be more like kind of like higher, more feminine, like girly. And I was like,
What the
oh, like
The
that's
fuck, bro?
weird. Yeah. Yeah. So stuff
White
like that
guy?
where it's like, oh no, what?
White guy?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Bingo.
Damn, dude. So when the
Yeah.
parasocial shit finds its way to a date, it typically ends poorly.
I think so. But I feel like I'm being so picky where I'm like, like you can't, you know, I'm mad that this guy didn't bring it up, but also I don't want you to be too much of a fan.
Well, no, I think
Yeah.
it's well, in modern dating, everyone has a digital footprint, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of like everyone's projecting their best self or a certain type of self out there.
Mhm.
And I think that you have to realize, like, look, that is a just one component of who the person is,
Mhm.
right?
I think the thing is like, it's like, talk to me like we're equals, because the minute you either put yourself up too high or like you put me up too high, it's very weird for everyone.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Talk to me like not digital Delia, like realia.
Yeah.
There it is.
Talk to me nice or don't talk to me at all.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of niceness, for all the little piggies in the slop who are listening right now that love your voice as it is, what gifts should they get you that'll help lift their DMs to the top of the pile?
Gifts?
Didn't we talk about this?
Like presents?
Yeah.
Oh,
This
I
is
get
your,
to pick presents?
Yeah, this is your chance, and you
Yeah.
might get some of these. So
Yeah.
You've entered
Wish
the
accordingly.
every day is Christmas time corner of the only podcast that matters
Ooh.
that we only reserve for female guests. What do you want?
I mean, everyone wants flowers, right? Everyone wants flowers.
I don't.
No?
he is bad
Wow.
allergies.
I just feel like in New York it's so easy because there's like a fucking bodega everywhere that
Yeah.
sells flowers. It doesn't
And,
need
but,
to
and
be
that's
a whole
not
thing.
a corny move.
No, I think it's really sweet.
Yeah, flowers are
First date?
Flowers are
Sweet.
so bad.
First date, it's a bit much, but like
Right.
I found one on second date and I was really impressed.
Just like, I was walking by a bodega. I thought about you. Here's
Yeah.
some tulips.
Flowers
Yeah.
are so back. What else though? You want a you want a bag? You want some roe? What do you want?
I think like going to dinner, but like have some thought put into the restaurant. Like my bar is so low, guys, but it's like you know how like it's so
Feed me.
in New York, or in Brooklyn, it feels like there are like 3 bars, and so
What are
if
the
you
bar- what are your-
suggest
What are the three?
or 3 date bars, I mean, sorry. So if you suggest like Dynaco, Doris, or like Rialto Grande, I'm
love
like,
Doris.
why would like I love Doris too, but it's like I go to that with my friends.
Right. Same. Exactly.
And I have it's like kind of a bit like
Yeah.
I've burned all the like date material out of this place.
Mhm.
And so it's like, oh, if you don't know any other bars and like the 3 everyone in Brooklyn knows, then like you're not putting that much stuff. Like I don't feel very special.
Or it's like clear
Yeah.
that you're just like part of this roster of like, it's like
Yes.
we're just rotating the 3
Yes.
with all these girls or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I went
The bartender has the fucking 2 house Negronis already served up.
yeah. And then it's like, oh, so I'm just kind of I'm your Friday night. You're not like, what would Delia like?
Right,
You
right,
know?
right.
I'm your Asian.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm your flavor of the week.
Wait, I have a funny story for you where it's like I went out with that like this chef guy who he was Asian.
The hot chef.
Yeah. And the first date, we went to some like some like shitty East Village, like almost like brewery type place. And I remember going there and being like, what the fuck? And he showed up and we were like kind of getting along. And so I was like, do you date a lot of like white girls? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, so they love it here. And he was like, yeah. Like he realized like I found him. I was like, cause this is like, you need to take me somewhere cooler.
call
And
his
he
ass
was like, okay, let's go to this like actual dive bar. But I was just like, come on, like this isn't me at all.
Right.
This
Save the
isn't
brewery
you.
for the white bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save the hops for the snow bunnies.
Woo.
Delia, how much money do you make?
I was trying to figure out like a per word rate because I was like, maybe that's like a good way to give that answer. It's like $2 a word.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's like golden age of
Yeah.
magazines.
Oh yeah. No, it's
Not exactly Glenn O'Brien numbers, RIP
Yeah.
to the God, but that's
I
not
know.
bad. It
It's
could be
not-
way worse.
it's not taffy numbers. I think. Do you guys remember that? I think she told someone somewhere she made $4 a word,
Woo.
and everyone like fucking exploded.
I'm sure.
Because it's like I didn't even know. I
What do
wouldn't
you
have.
do? You make money from your Substack?
No.
Do you want that to be a money making endeavor?
I think if I get laid off, that's the first
Build
move.
the paywall.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you like to spend your money on besides vintage clothes in Tokyo?
What do I like to spend my money? I don't like to cook. I hate cooking.
Same sister.
So I'm always getting
Is that
like
why you
delivery.
love photos of dudes cooking?
Yeah, because I'm like, oh my God, you could just do it.
He can
Yeah.
provide. He can feed me.
Yeah, no,
Feed
I
me.
hate cooking. I get no like satisfaction from it. I'm always like, fuck this again.
Are you ordering in?
I'm ordering
7
in a
nights a
lot.
week?
Not 7 nights, but
Okay.
like three or four.
Oh,
Do you
that's-
eat out a lot or are you more just like
yeah,
the okay?
I eat out a lot. So it's like I know how to make pretty much like 2 or 3 things, and it's enough to sort of just have that on rotation because I'm not home for dinner that often, even.
Right.
But I hate making lunch. Every day I'm
Who
home like,
makes lunch?
what the fuck am I
Make
gonna do
lunch.
for lunch? You know,
No,
what do you
like-
make?
No, yeah,
make
but
like a sandwich.
salad.
I'll do like some like salad or
Ooh.
like take leftovers and kind of like turn it into a thing. I like cooking.
Oh, okay.
Lunch is the ultimate luxury, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
You eat
So-
one meal a week or one meal a day. So
Yeah.
like every meal,
Hence
every
why
meal
it's-
is lunch.
Hence why it's even more important.
Okay, so food,
Yeah,
delivery, eating out. That's like where the majority of your paycheck's going.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Travel?
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Or
I
was
guess
Japan trip an
travel.
anomaly?
I mean, the Japan trip is an anomaly. I'm not really. I like being. I mean, like, why did I work so hard to get to New York if I'm going to be gone all the time? I don't
Oh.
really need to travel that much.
It's a glass half full take.
Yeah.
I like that.
But-
you're not on Instagram trying to sublet your place for the
No,
month of
I-
June like
I
everyone
would
else.
never sublet my place. I don't like other like strangers in my bed.
Hell no.
You know, I
Well,
don't
that
like
became
that.
a meme for a rereason because it's absolutely fucking ridiculous the
Yeah.
amount of
Yeah.
people that think anyone
Because where do you
wants
put
their
your
fucking
shit
spot.
then?
I do
know?
think it's important to be able to leave New York so you can like come back to it and
Best feeling. Yeah.
appreciate the glory that is here.
Yeah.
greatest
that the
city on earth.
is. Like I think it is important to like, you know, whatever your frustrations are or hangups are, like they'll dissipate once you fucking realize that you go upstate, the shit fucking sucks. right?
Yeah,
Like,
you're like, I can't get a green juice anywhere.
yeah. I gotta get lunch at Stewart's. Are you fucking kidding me?
This cafe doesn't have matcha. Like,
fuck?
what am I gonna do?
What's your matcha budget every month?
It's probably. I mean, I will. You know, now that I've been to Japan, I have it at home.
Oh, yes.
But
a real whisker.
It's a
I
ritual.
know. But I don't drink coffee. So like to me, a treat is like getting a matcha latte, almond milk, honey.
Mm.
Like,
How did Lawrence do with the tea?
sorry.
How did Lawrence do with his
Oh, it's
tea?
great. I love
I mean,
your
she
tea.
just said she
Yeah.
said ginger, so I just got
Right.
ginger.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't know you guys were gonna like that's very nice. I thought you were
And
just
by the
gonna
way,
go to Starbucks
you
or
can
something.
feel free to take that home.
Oh,
We'll give
Little
we'll give you-
take-home
we'll-
gift.
We'll let you.
Little.
We'll let you take 2 bags home. We're gonna keep the rest. We got a bill at the office. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I thought I was
Um,
gonna bring my own drinks. That's nice.
Delia, we've reached the end of the only podcast that matters. Before we get you out of here, and on the way to your reading
Mhm.
for Hate Read,
That
tonight.
sold out in how many minutes?
18 minutes.
18 motherfucking minutes.
This
and you
thing-
can book it.
Hate Read seems to have legs.
Yeah.
I
Like,
hope so.
do
Yeah.
you want like? Are you thinking bigger and even like blue sky plans with it, or you just kind of take it one day at a time?
I think one day at a time. Someone was like, this could just be a reading series. You don't even have to publish it, you know? And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
And did you charge ticket
no,
admission,
no, because it's like Substack is throwing this party.
or is Substack cutting you a check?
No.
Are you getting a cut of the bar?
No.
Why aren't you doing any of these things?
Are you selling those teas? Can we get can people buy that merch, or is that only for friends and fam?
No, I honestly think Hate Read has been a real like crash course in many lessons that I've learned in terms of like people are going to care about this. Cause I truly was like, me and some friends are doing this thing and we'll have a laugh. But like, now I'm like, oh, fuck.
You know why I know that you're a good journalist and good member of the media? You're not making any fucking money off
No, I'm not making a set. Yeah.
And like all the things we just mentioned, like you could be doing.
Yes.
I know. It's like, what is that? A cut of the bar? What does that mean? I've never heard of that.
Whatever people spend at the bar, you should get a percentage of because you're bringing a crowd in tonight.
Yep.
Oh.
That's how it works. You're hosting.
Like you literally should be getting that.
Yeah.
You need
No,
a
we
walk-through
have
fee.
like, I think there's like
I'm
a
sneaking my own
minimum.
booze in tonight. Fuck the river.
Yeah. Wow.
And also,
Because you're not getting a cut. That's why.
and
Also,
also, it's
also,
like,
I don't like
yo,
that.
those cocktails ain't cheap. Think about your little
No.
percentage
Yeah.
of every Negroni.
I truly, this is how like kind of naive I am. I didn't know that was a thing.
Can we get t-shirts though, for real? I'm not even kidding. Can I get a tee?
So this is the thing too, is like we made 30 shirts and it was basically for like the readers. And now I'm like, that was so dumb. We should have made like 300.
You could. Okay, how about this? You create a pre-order list where people sign up and buy them
Ooh.
tonight, and then they
Ooh.
ship them out later.
Wait, that's such a
Throw
good
my
idea.
email on there. I want one.
Yeah,
Men's extra large.
You
Okay.
know what? I won't even take a cut for that.
Okay.
What a guy.
Wow, that's such a good idea.
Well, actually, you now have the opportunity to pay us back because our final question is after doing the show, thank you so much again for your time. We know you have a very busy day
Thanks for having
and a
me.
night ahead of you. Is there any constructive criticism that you would like to give us after spending almost exactly an hour and 40 minutes in the motherfucking Thunderdome? And feel free to be as brutal and hateful as you want.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Hate on
I
us.
was
Hate
truly,
me.
I was going to come in here and be like, I think
Hurt my
I was
feelings.
so prepared to make fun of this podcast because I hadn't listened to it before.
Oh, well, you saw that your compliment sandwich when we were talking about hate reads.
What do you think of our compliment sandwich? Which I don't even really remember what we said. I think I said that you're the Gia Tolentino of Vanity Fair.
Oh yeah, I was like, that seems racial.
no,
He's Asian.
Yeah.
He could do it.
I didn't know it at the time.
I didn't
Now
know
take
you
it
were
back.
Chinese. I was like, what is she?
What the fuck are you?
Yeah, you guys did give me a compliment sandwich. You were like, this hate reads thing is interesting, but it's bad. But I guess she's just trying. It was like something like that. That was like, whoa.
Speaking for myself, I was mad about the I hate menswear thing because that was full
Because the guy was
projection.
describing
And
Lawrence.
and the fact that I know who wrote it, and I'm like, brother, you're the problem. Also, though, shout out to that guy for doing the work and fucking writing it. But what pissed me off was the person, whoever, maybe it's a friend, so I don't want to be too mean, but the person who wrote the I hate media parties.
yeah.
Not that I have anything wrong with that general thesis. That was the worst writing I have ever read from supposedly an adult. I would imagine wrote that. So that was a tough scene, brother.
Sounds like it just wasn't your thing. That's okay.
Yeah. It wasn't your thing.
Anyway, so apologies to that woman, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I am a man and I shouldn't hate.
Okay, so what constructive criticism would you like to give?
I was gonna say,
Throwing
like,
Fits?
you're about to feel really bad because I'm gonna give you a huge compliment, which is like, I like listening to the
We're not gonna feel
podcast. I thought it was just kind of like poop jokes, but then I listened to the ones
It's
of
poop
like,
and dick jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pee pee, poo poo,
I know.
and penis.
but then I listened to the one like a couple of them, and I was like, at first, because I was also like 2 hours. 2 hours, that's really fucking long. I don't listen to anyone for 2 hours, much less like two men. But I feel like you know, from one professional interviewer, interrogator to others, I'm like, this is like a level of attention most people don't experience regularly at all.
What episode was this that made you that flipped your perspective on us?
I listened to the Alison Roman and Laura Riley one, and I was just like, oh, you know,
They do respect
it's very
bitches.
I was like, it's very in depth, but like you guys are so either genuinely curious or genuinely good at faking curiosity that like
Yeah, a little from column A, a
You
little from
know,
column B.
but it's hard to fake it for 2 hours.
That's what she said.
Fake it till you make it. Yeah.
For 2 hours.
Only
So
seen
I
it
was
fake it
sort
for
of
30
like, I
seconds.
respect that. Yeah.
I really hope that a future female guest adds you to that same kind of like list, and you can serve as a perfect example of why you should come on the show.
Does
whoever you are.
Throwing Fits, and maybe the answer is it's moot. It's a moot question. Does Throwing Fits have a reputation in these higher echelons of ivory tower media? And what is it? Do we fucking suck?
I think people don't know that much about it. I think it's just like the name is the joke, and then you're kind of like, oh, okay. But
So it's
I'm sure.
like me
So I'm
and John
sure-
Draper in the elevator. No one thinks about you at all.
I'm sure people in fashion do. Like, I wouldn't count myself as a fashion person, but I'm sure people in fashion do. I think.
I know Matt Lynch does.
Matt told me like you guys met his baby his first baby, like shortly after like William was born, and what you said to Matt was like, "Has your baby touched mohair yet?" Which I just remember thinking that was really funny.
Oh yeah, because he ran into us during a photo shoot. And I was like, "Yo, does your baby want to touch mohair?"
That was when I first heard about who you guys were, and I was like, "Who are these guys?" That's very funny.
Were these mohair
My niece was
idiots?
4 the first time she touched chinchilla. We're to Terrence Thornton.
I like that you gave William that experience. Like, that's very sweet.
What can we say? We're men of the people.
we're outing babies' names now.
Yeah.
Didn't know we were doing that. All right, well, Delia, thank you.
No,
for coming
plugs,
on. The only
plugs.
What do you want? Where can the kids follow you? What would you like to plug? Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Sorry, my bad.
Just subscribe to Deez Links, deezlinks.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently free, soon to be possibly paywalled.
Yeah.
Follow you on Twitter, follow you on IG.
Set me up with your friends.
How can a guy respectfully float into the DMs? Do they need to like the bikini pic first? Remember, fellas, she is investigating every single like and comment.
That's true.
I know.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
I think just follow me. I look at everyone who follows me.
Oh, like in terms of like, is it a follow? Is it worthy of a follow back?
Yeah.
Delia?
Yeah. Do they seem interesting? You know, do we know anyone
Thanks,
in
by
common?
the way.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. Thorough Gang, please behave yourself.
Yes.
We
Don't make us
are
look
going to
bad.
do a little post mortem. Like, I'm going to check in with you like a few days after the ep goes live and see what's good.
Okay. No 22-year-olds, please.
No 22-year-olds.
23?
Yeah,
24.
what's your age? What's your...
Say stop. 23.
I don't know. I think they have to
24.
be in their 30s now.
Oh, really?
You
Older?
need to have confronted mortality in a little bit in the way that, like, when you turn from 29 to 30, you've thought about something.
One of your parents or siblings need to have died before you
Siblings?
deign
Jesus Christ.
to float into the DMs of Delia.
If you don't have
Wait,
personal trauma,
You joke, but that was like my type for a while. I was like, dead parent.
Death Boys?
Yeah. Yeah.
the goth boy clique.
Oh, you don't have a mom anymore? Don't worry. I can.
Oh, yowzers. On that note, Delia, thank you so much for your time and good luck tonight, truly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Chef, take us out.
Mother's Day is almost here, and you can get her the most beautiful time-tested gift around. A watch she can wear every day from Movement. Whether mom's into classic dress watches, rare and refined ceramics, or tried and true bestsellers, Movement has something she'll love. And right now you can save big on the best Mother's Day gift ever with up to 50% off site-wide during Movement's Mother's Day sale at mvmt.com. Again, that's up to 50% off at mvmt.com.
If you're in business, you probably have a website, but can your site handle your growth? How many visitors before your site slows down or crashes? What about storage and data security? From web hosting to virtual servers, Pair Networks provides the online infrastructure you need to start, grow, and flourish. When it comes to security and updates, don't worry, we've got you covered. Our 24/7 US-based customer support is the best in the industry. No frustrating chatbots or sitting on hold for hours. Check out pair.com today to learn more. That's PAIR.com.
Ever tried reading while jogging, cooking, or even juggling flaming torches? Yeah, it doesn't end well. But with audiobooks.com, you can conquer books without the circus act. Dive into over 450,000 titles, including more than 10,000 free ones. Get hooked on a bestseller, find your next obsession, or finally read that classic you've been avoiding since high school. And here's the inside scoop. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial and snag your first 3 audiobooks on the house. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.